Everton. Well, here we are. Part 2 of these confessions.
This guy.
What
Wow.
up? It's your boy Nolan Miller, one of the many co-hosts of your favorite podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the QCLP. Baby.
QLCB.
What did I say?
QCLP.
QLCB, baby.
We don't even know the name of our own
Quarter Life
podcast at
Crisis
this point.
podcast.
Oh,
Welcome.
wow.
Who am I joined by over here?
Oh, it's me, always shy and bashful, Chris Sims.
Oh,
so kawaii.
Christopher.
And your boy Mitch Garrett over
Ooh.
here drinking,
The
a mango white claw.
The claw.
Still looking for that sponsorship.
And it's Dalen.
Dalen.
Bush. The mighty Bush.
Are you ready for round 2?
I think so.
You think so?
I think he needs more claws.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you need like 7 more claws over there.
Good thing
big
we've
guy.
got at least 7 more
At least 7.
So now that we've already established that Dallin is not sober, how's that white
Never
claw
have
over there?
been.
Never have been, bro, since day one.
Still keeping it up.
Yeah, bro.
Came out of the womb fucked up.
Hey,
Fuck
the alcoholic life doesn't
Hey, I can't help
choose
it that
you.
I had fetal alcohol syndrome. Okay.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
Good shit.
Stuck with me
Good
my
shit.
whole life.
We're done here. We're done.
All right, that
Hey.
was this week's QLCB podcast.
Hey, we'll talk to you later.
Hey, people, this is good radio, all right?
This is great.
Did you know that
Shocker.
White Claw
From the
is
womb.
gluten-free?
Is it really?
It's naturally gluten-free.
We are promoting a very healthy and clean lifestyle here.
Yes.
These are clean and sober. White Claw guy Trevor Wallace himself has said it.
Trevor Wallace. I love Trevor Wallace.
What are you talking about, Becky? These are clean and sober.
Clean and sober.
God bless Trevor Wallace. Thank you
Yes.
so much for the
Sponsorship.
views, and I love his Thrasher videos. Are so good. Was somebody wearing a Thrasher shirt? I thought somebody was.
We have when we were playing Skate 3, there's Thrashers.
Yes,
that's
Thrasher.
what it was.
Dude, I watch skate videos at work too. Like speaking of Thrasher and all that.
Oh,
Like
that's-
it's so
you-
nice. It's so nice to put on because they usually have like fun music.
like
Yes.
Skate the video game.
No, like
videos?
skate
Actual-
videos from
yeah.
like
Oh.
Thrasher and Nike and Enjoy and Almost and stuff like that. Like I'll just literally put on a YouTube playlist, and because it's always got really nice mellow music to it.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's just nice to have it in the background. If I get kind of bored, I just kind of look over and watch people do skateboard
Exactly.
tricks.
I'd also recommend longboarding, like dancing
Ooh.
videos.
Oh.
So fucking nice,
Yeah, you
dude.
were horned up about.
Oh,
longboard
so
dance
horned up.
videos, Yeah.
There's some girls that.
I don't know about you
Bust a
guys.
move.
Maybe
Yeah,
Dallin
that
can
gap.
relate to me, but I don't know. I work at work. It's kind of weird. I've never.
Yeah.
Bitch, I work.
I put my phone away, dude. I don't check it one time all day.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, it's I'm a very hard worker, and I don't ever take a break or eat food or do anything. Dude.
Wow.
I'm just like clocked in all day.
How about
Every
you,
day.
Dallin?
I don't know if my work is really work. I just stack boxes all day and listen to podcasts.
That's dope. Hey,
It is work. It's physical work.
he listens to the podcast.
I only
only
listen to
podcast.
the Quarter Life
Yeah, of
Crisis.
course.
Ah.
Yeah, of course.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which
That shit
one?
on
Because
repeat.
there's like a million of them out
There's
there.
a few. There's
Yeah,
actually,
yeah. This one, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
boys.
hope so.
Well, we kind of, let's just get right back into it
Yes.
because, this is part 2 of these confessions. Shout out Usher, thank you.
You don't want to hear about my week, Nolan?
I don't, fine, whatever.
Okay,
No,
real
it's all
quick.
good. I see how it is.
That's fine,
quick
yeah.
week. Quick week.
Yeah, quick week.
I
Quick
want to
week.
hear about your guys' week.
Okay.
How's it going, Nolan? You
Well,
start off.
If I'll go last because it just ties into what we're going to talk about
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
So Mitch or whoever wants to take the ball.
Fine, I'll go.
Okay.
Everyone's looking
Mitch
at me like,
really wanted to talk about himself
Dude,
today, guys. Here
I
he
wanna
is.
hear
Listen,
Hey, this better be entertaining.
listen here. I just wanted to hear how everyone was doing and see how, everyone's vibing this week. Dude, we're doing a vibe check right now.
The vibe. Ooh.
Vibe checking you guys. No, dude, it's been a busy last week. I will say though, I wanted to talk about what happened this morning. Apparently, after the fuck ton of snow we've been getting,
Okay.
our rental agency decided
Oh yeah.
that this morning was the time to clear out all the snow. Not last Friday, Not this weekend.
But what time?
Yeah.
What time?
Oh, I'm getting there. Not on Friday when it happened. Not
Yep.
Saturday the day after.
Yeah,
Not after
I
it
mean,
happened a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, like Friday, I get like not doing it on Friday because it's still snowing. Like the weather's shitty.
Yeah.
Like the next day, I understand that.
Yeah, but
okay.
not coming out last night after it finished. No. 3:40 a.m. this morning. They were running snow blowers and plows up and down our street.
Yep.
No.
We looked it up. It is
way.
illegal to run powered snow removal equipment from 5:30 to or until 5:30. I'm not going to state where this ordinance is for, but yes, we looked it up and we made a complaint with Caliber. We put it in. We're like that because Taylor couldn't fall back asleep and she's at work until 9 tonight. Had work from
Aw,
8 to
poor
9.
Taylor.
8 this morning to 9 tonight. And she got woken up at 4 and couldn't fall back asleep. And we messaged them. We're like, this is unacceptable. And they're
Yeah.
basically like, sorry, that's just when they could fit it in.
Well, that
bullshit.
Bitch, no.
Yeah, what the hell? The weather wasn't even bad. This like.
That's what I mean. I came
out.
out almost every driveway was clear. That was already clear in the first place. I'm like, and that's what I think pissed me off the most was everything was more or less clear already. So what the fuck are you doing down here?
No
Exactly.
shit.
Dude, I remember because I woke up to I thought I had heard something and I saw a whole bunch of headlights out my window.
Yep.
So I look and I saw a bunch of trucks and I thought an accident happened.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And I just see a whole bunch of plow trucks. I'm like, okay, it must be like 5, 6. I need to start getting ready for work. Go check my phone. 3:40. I'm like, maybe they're just scouting the area. That's fucking weird. And I passed back out. I'm a heavy sleeper. Taylor could not fall back asleep. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk
Damn.
about that because I know Chris can relate.
Yes. So I woke up this morning at 3:40, 4 o'clock. I'm like, what the fuck is that sound? Why the fuck are there people snow blowing out there? Jesus fucking
my
Christ.
God, what?
And so I was like, whatever. I guess these people don't know how to fucking do their jobs. Try to go back to sleep. And then my cat wakes me up. Little Icarus Beako Chi Chi. My new little kitty cat.
Oh, you got a new cat?
I do have a new cat.
Oh, there we go. I didn't know this.
You've had it for a bit though. How long have you had Icarus?
3 weeks. Coming
Yeah.
up on
What
3
the
weeks. Yeah, sorry.
Did he have it on New Year's?
No.
Oh, okay. It was after New Year's. Okay. I
Starting
met
the
him
year.
last week. I met
Yes,
him
you
last week.
This is the first I'm hearing about
Yeah,
this
I
cat.
haven't really shared much. He's still getting
his cat,
used
bro.
to the family.
Leave him alone, dude. He'll talk about him if he wants to.
But yeah,
I'm upset.
so that was a great start to the morning.
Yeah. What the hell? That's kind of.
It was A+. We're A+.
I mean, I respect it,
lawn
like-
care and snow removal. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, I respect the grind for those workers because those guys. I feel like those guys never get any sleep because I mean, you have to. You know, snow removal like you when the
24/7.
snow. Yeah, I mean, you got to go when the people need you.
No,
But yeah,
I get that, but like,
Put
do-
some parameters.
yeah. And my thing is, do the businesses at that time, so
Yeah,
it's clear
no
when it's
shit.
get there, and then you do the residential areas after
When
everyone's
they're at
gone for the
work.
day.
That is one thing that I've noticed about my work as well is that they do a really good job at my work to clear out. We have like a handful of like pool cars that stay at the parking spot unless somebody needs them or whatever. So there's snow all over those cars. But other than that, they do a phenomenal job at our work. But yeah, what about you, dog? What have you been up to, dog?
I mean, I don't really do much other than go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, do the same
Repeat.
thing.
Damn.
But I don't know, over the past week, my girlfriend and I, we watch Netflix sometimes. I don't know if
Okay.
you ever
Ooh.
heard of this thing called Netflix.
Oh yeah, you know,
But
I mean,
Maybe.
I've dabbled.
Explain
I've
Netflix.
dabbled in it. I know the
But-
chilling part of Netflix, but that's really about it, honestly.
This guy.
But I don't know, there's a show that I watched that I really enjoyed.
What show?
I talked to Chris about it a little
Yes.
bit earlier.
Yes.
It's called, I don't know the specific one, but it's like a spinoff of the original show. But you guys all probably heard of like Queer Eye.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I've heard that show's phenomenal.
Mhm.
It's really great. It's really great. But I watched they came up with like a new one that takes place in Japan. And it's only 4 episodes long.
Is it in Japanese?
So the people who are Japanese speak Japanese as subtitles.
Okay,
Some of them can speak English.
for sure.
It's pretty easy to follow. I don't know,
It's
I
the same
wa-
basis though.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I watch like a shitload of like anime and shit, so it's pretty easy for me to keep up with subtitles.
Yes.
But I understand like subtitles being annoying.
What's it
But-
called?
It's like Queer Eye. I don't know.
Oh,
Like, just
okay,
search
okay,
for,
okay,
like, I don't know what
okay,
the
okay.
probably Queer Eye in Japan or something.
Okay.
But I
I
don't know. Like
guess.
going into the show, you'd probably think
Chinchillas.
like it has like I don't know. I've never seen the original show, but I first heard of it. I thought of it being more like focusing on a lot of like people's physical attributes. You know, like getting their hair looking nice, picking what they choose to wear, how they present themselves. Where that is like present in this show. What I really like about like this new take on it is it's a lot about like people's own mental health, like how they think about themselves.
Okay.
And it's really nice because you get to see like people opening up and starting to become like who they want to be, and I don't know. It's like it's I don't know. I almost fucking cried a couple times.
Damn.
Like
Damn.
it's really emotional and.
So you said it's only 4 episodes long?
Yeah, this one's only 4 episodes. One in Japan.
Could you get a vibe? Because I'm like, I don't know because I'm obviously like not from Japan and shit and don't know their culture that well. But is there like are they more accepting or less accepting or
Yeah,
what,
no,
you know what I mean?
The Japanese culture is like very conservative.
I figured as much.
So there's a lot of like one episode's about a guy being gay in Japan.
Okay.
Like he went to college in Canada, and he has a boyfriend that's like in England, but he lives in Japan.
Damn. Okay.
And he's like trying to, he like when he's out in like Canada, he's very like open about himself. He loves to be himself. When he's back home in Japan, he becomes very introverted,
For sure.
and he can't express himself. So they kind of like try to help with that.
Okay.
Another one was a guy who had troubles with his wife. He's been with his wife for a number of years, and apparently they hadn't been physically intimate over 5 years. But they're still married and living with each other.
Damn.
And part of the problem was because in Japan, men aren't supposed to be emotional.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of problems, expressing himself to her. So they go about like, helping solve that problem with him.
Okay.
I don't know. It's. I just found it, just very like heartwarming and
That's cool.
uplifting, and
That's cool.
I really enjoyed it, and I think it's nice to watch like something that's more positive.
For sure.
That's how the actual show is. Taylor watches it quite a bit, so
Okay.
I've seen quite a few episodes.
I mean, is that
and
the new one or is the original? Because I know there's like original and they redid it on
Queer
Netflix.
Eye, whatever it's called, just like
Okay.
whatever, and that's what it's a focus on a person's entire lifestyle, and they don't just get the clothes to make the person like look cool. It's to make them feel more comfortable with themselves. Because what you see a lot of times is people just go out and buy what they know, not what actually fits them, and then all of a sudden they're shown this type of like outfit or wardrobe, and they're like, oh, I really like this, and it actually like fits my body well.
Okay.
And it's like, and then like they teach them how to cook meals as well. That was a
Damn.
big thing. Was like, oh, you're eating fast food all the time, and it's not good for you. So here's a recipe, and they walk them through.
Dude,
how to
I'm
make it.
trash, dude. My diet's shit, bro. Like
Oh.
I should probably
Well,
watch
So
it.
can we get the number for Queer
Maybe
Eye?
we
Yeah,
should.
yeah, hold on
I'll
there.
start
Yeah,
watching Queer Eye.
maybe we should get the Fab Five to come down here.
Yes.
and help Nolan
yeah.
out.
Wow.
I'm
Okay,
down.
and then I mean, pretty much like what I've been doing. I've been watching a couple documentaries on Netflix and Amazon Prime. I highly suggest watching the Free Meek documentary on Amazon. It's about Meek Mill and his whole. He's been on. He's not anymore, but he was on probation for 11 years on a bogus charge in the
Yeah,
first
was that the
place.
whole like
And they-
ATV charge?
No, I mean it's way
shit
deeper than
or
that. Like
whatever?
it's way deep, but it just like talks about how this single-handedly judge, pretty much overdid the situation and like punished him way more than what he needed to be. It was really good, and then I do want to bring it up because it's been on Twitter hot. I've watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix.
I've been seeing that pop up.
Aaron Hernandez, for you guys who don't know, was a tight end for the New England Patriots for a couple years. And then he ended up killing somebody and went to jail and prison and committed suicide.
Yep.
And it's a hot subject because Netflix kind of like questionably had a questionable take on the whole situation. They were trying I know they were trying to get like personal stories from different people within his life and all this stuff, but they tried. I didn't think it was necessary, but I mean I get it as well. They were trying to paint this picture that he like was gay or had sexual encounters with men, and that they were trying to like paint this picture that he murdered these people because he was insecure about his sexuality and didn't know what to do about it, so he like resorted in killing people. When in not in reality, but like they like after he committed suicide, they scanned his brain for CTE, like whatever it stands for, but
It's
like
brain damage.
yeah,
Brain
more
damage?
brain damage for prevalent in NFL players that die. He had like one of the worst cases for his age range ever, and that they like the meme on Twitter was, you know, the scientific study says that CTE makes people do irrational things and like don't make them act themselves and stuff, and then it was like Netflix, nah, it's because he's gay.
Huh.
Like that was a
Yeah,
meme,
okay.
and it's like it's got like it was
Wow.
almost like a cop out, and like I don't know, it's weird.
Wow.
It's a really good documentary because it's a super fucked up story and like crazy, but yeah, it was questionable on that.
I get you. So they're trying to like lure him in with the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world.
Yeah,
You know?
kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
When
Gay
in reality,
killers.
he was literally just fucked in the
Just
head.
fucking
Yeah,
him.
yeah, when yeah,
Like,
he was just
physically, like-
irrational, yeah.
Wow.
Brain damage, dude.
Wow.
CTE fuck someone up.
It's a real thing, yeah, yeah. And
It's
then
crazy.
to just go part 2 and to segue here, this last week for music
Yeah, dude.
has been
Booming.
insane. Literally, the new Mac album, the new Eminem album, and the 3 albums that I've been paying attention to are the Mac album, the Eminem album, and then the director's cut of the Dreamville project, which added 12 tracks to it. And so that album's literally like 30 songs
Yeah.
now. It's
Oh,
insane.
it's good
Yeah,
shit.
it's insane.
So far, it's my 2020 top pick.
Really?
2020
Ooh,
top
that's a
pick.
bold.
Already.
It's a bold.
That's
Yeah,
a
I know,
bold
right?
move.
We are 4 weeks into 2020.
I have
top album.
And I have to apologize / make it clear for the Mac album. I think we should just start with his, honestly. I'm assuming we all listened to it here, but it was
Yes.
really good. It was a full-on project. I think the one thing that really stood out for me is that I think every single track can stand by itself, but together it's a whole project. Like every single song was really good, and I think my favorite song that I listened to was like Blue, what was it? It was something Blue King or something. It was the 3rd track on the album. It was really good. I don't know. I thought it was a really good overall
Pull
project.
Spotify.
It was a good. It was
Blue
very well
World.
put together. It wasn't a rap album. It was like how we were talking last week of just kind of like transcending a bit. I don't know. It
R&B almost.
and soul and just
Soul, baby.
straight up
Soul.
just like singing.
Soul
I don't know. It was
music.
really good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was kind of like a good send off, you know,
And
if
yeah,
you will.
yeah.
Because R.I.P. Mac.
Yeah,
Still
RP.
can't believe
And
it.
I heard there's a rumor that it was supposed to be a trilogy album.
Oh,
So there's one more, is what I've heard through the grapevine.
Oh, heard it through the grapevine.
I mean, I guess I'll add to the conversation that I still haven't listened to the whole album. I've heard the a single off of the album. What I heard I did like. The reason why I haven't listened to it is I have plenty of time at work to listen to music. But just with his passing and everything and the album being more... I did hear that it has some more, like, he was very positive at the time. But just with his passing and everything, I just wasn't in the mood to listen to something like that.
Yeah.
So I do look forward to listening to it soon.
Yeah.
And I do want to hear y'all's opinions on it.
Mm.
I do have one question for Nolan.
Okay.
After listening to this album,
Okay.
do you still think that post Humus, is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Album releases are all like disingenuous, or I can't put it in the words what you said
Yeah.
last
No.
week.
Yeah.
But
and
But you said you kind of like had a I don't know, like a bad taste
skeptical. I was
in your mouth
skeptical.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like with this treatment of how Mac's release has been, like what's your overall take on it?
So I mean, it was wholesome for sure. Like it was like all Mac. It was like it was a full on project, and I was hoping for that. But then at the same time, like I'm kind of mad because I saw like tweets and stuff that like it was his most successful album, like for listens and stuff. Like the first week opening, like he had the most downloads and all that stuff of any of his other albums, and that's why it bothers me. It's like he gets all like I mean, it's good music and people should enjoy it and stuff, but it's just like it sucks because it's like you didn't appreciate him when he's here and now he's gone and now you want to listen to like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
It's
it's like
tough.
listens and stuff. I mean, that's just gonna be the way it is.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, what's your take on how they treated him and how they treated the album? Do you think this album is something that Mac would have envisioned, or do you think that it was mishandled? Like, because you said that a lot of people could mishandle, posthumous releases.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have talked about,
But I think
X's.
I think it's very clear that like I think these projects were done. I think it was like before he passed, maybe like the final mixing and mastering still needed to take place, but it was done. Like it was a complete album, and I really appreciated that. Like it was a full on project for sure.
See, from what I've read, of course they had the vocals.
Yeah,
You can't have the vocals with him
Obviously.
dead.
Yeah.
But there was like revisions with like the production.
for sure.
But I don't. There was an interview that came out. I forgot the guy who kind of like headed the production of it and the release of it after Mac Miller passed away. But there is an interview out there with him and another guy, and I don't know. From what I've read, he really tried to treat this with the most respect that he can.
And I think he did. I think
he did
definitely
change
did.
a few things after Mac Miller passed, but from what I've heard, he did it with the best intentions in
for
mind.
sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Mitch, have you listened to it?
No, I have not had a chance to listen to it yet.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know why. This is gonna sound just really weird and off, but I've been listening to a shit ton of country music this past week.
Damn.
The fuck?
At work. I don't know why.
It's
It's been nice at work. It's just kind of background music. And
Okay.
That and the skate videos. So like,
yeah, bro.
other than Eminem's album, and even then, I guess I listened to it at work, but I didn't really listen to it until I was getting my fillings done. 'Cause
Okay.
that took about an hour, and I literally
Yeah.
just had headphones on and just listened to the album.
Yeah.
And then I was actually able to like sit down. Eminem's album, that is, not Max.
Yeah.
And like sit down and like listen to
What'd you
that.
think of it?
I was a huge fan. I think it's great that he's going in more of a direction of going back to projects and actual whole albums rather than just like,
Yeah,
fuck you
Yeah.
kind of mentality. Don't get me wrong, Kamikaze was awesome.
Yeah, I love Kamikaze.
Kamikaze
too.
was phenomenal, but I do like this return to form of I have this idea for an album. It's a project, and
Yeah.
I'm going to take this theme and stretch it out over 16 to 20 songs.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting to see a Juice WRLD feature on the
Yeah.
album
Oh
whatsoever.
wow!
Yeah, Godzilla, and I think that's his #1 song on Spotify right now.
And
is
he-
that song.
yeah, 'cause
R.I.P. Juice WRLD.
I really like the album too. I listened to that one fully as well. I think Eminem's back to his old ways, quote unquote, of like, yeah, same thing. Like he's back to projects, but it's like he just is back to his old sound, which is also a double-headed sword just because like Eminem can't do wrong in my eyes because he's a legend and
Yeah,
he
he's up there.
is who
He's
he
up there.
is.
Yeah.
Lyrically,
But at the same time, I've heard Eminem on all of these albums, and it doesn't like I like the album, but I'm not just gonna like always. I'm not gonna put the album on repeat just because it's like it's another Eminem song. Oh, it's another like it's always
it's not
so
new.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
but it's super good. Same thing. It's like it's really good. Did you listen to it at all, Chris?
oh, sorry, nope.
Wow,
Nope.
not
I
at
was,
all.
I was trying to get my list together, and you guys, I listened to Mac and Dreamville, and then I
Okay.
just
no,
threw Eminem under the bus accidentally. Sorry, Eminem, don't kill me. He's a classic, though. I do enjoy his stuff.
for sure. What do you think about that Dreamville project, boy?
Oh fuck yes. Give me more than 12 more
I
songs.
love the very first track because it was called Big Black Truck. And
Yeah.
it was only JID. He was the only one on the song. But at the very beginning, he like opens it up and he's like, "This is gonna get weird. Don't stop recording," and just goes off, dude. Like
yeah.
it's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I thought it was really good too. Did you?
So all the different groups coming together and creating all these different themes, and it was so close to being my pick for 2019, and then to come and see, oh, there's the director cut 2020. There it is,
2020,
there it is, baby.
2020, baby.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. They brought a lot of fun
Yeah.
to finish off.
And the one track that really stood out for me as well is Ari Lennox, dude. I love the chicks. R&B, like SZA, Ari Lennox, Tiana Taylor, like any of those girls. I don't know if any you guys have ever heard of any of those girls, but
SZA,
oh my
right,
God, they are just bad bitches, dude. They're
All
just
bad
like
bitches.
R&B
Who,
soul singers that just like SZA's album, Tiana Taylor's album, and Ari Lennox album. They have like they're completely produced by like hip hop and rap people, but it's just like soul singing that they just belt their hearts
yeah,
out,
like-
and it's so dope.
This is kind of like change subject really quick, but
You're good.
speaking of like SZA and people like that, have you ever heard of Jessie Reyes?
Yes.
Yeah,
As I say,
a little
like,
bit. Yeah.
She has some pretty cool shit.
Who's she featured? Doesn't she work with Eminem a lot?
I don't know. I've heard like
She did one track with Eminem
Okay.
on Kamikaze. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
but
that
I
means
know
so.
Yeah.
I've heard other songs from her.
I just like I don't know. I mostly listen to like a lot of rap and stuff. So when I hear
for sure.
someone like that, like SZA or Jessie Reyes, like I don't know what you would label their genre as, but
Like R&B
I don't
and
know,
soul,
she-
I think.
she stuck out to
me.
me. So I've seen if you all heard of her.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Pop,
for
soul.
sure. You listen to any of those albums? Any of the new albums out or nah?
No,
Yeah,
I've heard like lots. Like I could probably pull up some like 5 or 6 songs I really like by her, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Dope.
It's all
Dope.
good. We kind of gave ourselves
Cut that.
quite the chore of finding an album of each year of the
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah, we
Because
really
I
did.
was, oh my God, I'm so glad we kind of pushed this recording off a little bit because it gave me more time to be like, all right,
Yeah,
this
dude.
year, this year,
Yeah.
this year. It was tough.
I think the biggest difficulty I had with it was some years I couldn't find any albums, and other years I could not make a decision.
Yep.
I could not sit down and be like, this is definitively better than the rest of these, so this is the album. So I literally just threw all of them on this list, and then
Okay.
as we go on, I'm just going to kind of be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll pick that one, I guess.
Yeah, like my biggest difficulty with choosing a decades list was I didn't really start getting like into music until I don't know 2013, 2014 as I got a little bit older. So for like my 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 is all just kind of like
Pop.
I don't know.
I feel like that was just
no,
like
it's just more
let's
like an
throw
album
ups.
that like
yeah.
I would personally listen to now, but it's not like something I'd say is like my album of the year, whatever. Like then, because like back then, like now I mostly listen to like a lot of like rap or hip hop. Like I know like in 2010, 2011, I was listening to like a lot of like Rise Against or a lot of like punk
Oh,
rock.
yeah.
So
yeah.
like definitely like
Yeah.
I'd throw something like that on there, but I don't have it.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much what we're going to get into for our part 2 here is we've kind of decided this was the original idea of the podcast, but we had no idea that we were going to have to go this far, and I love
Last
that we
week's
have
episode.
to.
Wait, the
Of last
original?
week's episode, yeah.
Last
when we
week's
were
episode.
covering the 2019 albums. We're kind of having this idea that we're just going to kind of go through each year and kind of pick out a favorite album from there from 2010 to I guess 2018 because 2019 was the last what we did last week.
Yes.
But these boys prepared all these lists and I'm kind of winging it. I'm just gonna go year by
Fucking
year
slacker.
and kinda just pick out my favorites and mention and whatnot. But yeah, we're just gonna break down each year just kind of the decade of music and see where it takes us. Honestly,
Do we
It's
want
gonna
like a
be
little
fun.
bit of behind the like what kind of gave us
I think, yeah, we should
We can do
inspiration?
whatever.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear a little discussion.
A little
about each
discussion.
album. It doesn't
Oh,
have to
for
be super
sure.
in depth,
Because
but
I think there are going to be some years where we overlap and be like, yes,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a great
Mhm.
album.
I know
Yeah.
Chris and I have an album
couple.
that we have one album that could potentially be both of our albums of the decade.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So-
Oh, are we gonna pick an album?
Oh, are
of
we-
the
are we
decade?
I mean, you
yeah,
don't- you
yeah,
don't
we
have
should.
to.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we'll get into
could,
it here in a
yeah.
bit.
What? What? Holy shit! I didn't know
We
that. I
could,
mean,
Yeah,
I could do it. I'm going to. I want
Mine
to.
is right off the top, so I don't really care. But we'll
Oh,
get into
I
it
think
here.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah.
Predictions in my brain.
Mhm.
We'll see if
Yeah.
it happens.
But yes, so here it begin. Yeah, so let's just get into it here, boys. We'll just start out fresh with 2010. Man, we were all
10.
sophomores in high
Yes,
school.
sophomores.
Freshmen
Wow.
and sophomores. Yeah.
Freshmen and sophomores.
Freshmen.
Who wants to start us off?
Well, I think we should start off at least mentioning the number one of each year for the billboards.
Okay, that's fair.
Fuck
And
you, billboards.
So starting off, are we screen recording or are we
No,
just,
I
okay.
can-
No, that's fine. We'll just talk
No,
about it.
no,
It's fine.
dude, it's good. Check this out. Click.
And
Okay.
Oh, that's
Well-
streaming. No, I don't want to stream
Oh,
right
stream,
now.
stream.
No.
We will be streaming an episode in the future. So
Yes, we will.
Stay tuned.
Eventually.
A whole bunch of people just got notifications saying
Are
that I
we-
started
Yeah,
streaming.
streaming.
I
bet I'm one.
screen recording
Yes,
now.
now
Okay.
we're screen recording.
So as
We're
you
gonna-
can see, the number one beaut. Oh my God, she's
Well, that's-
a babe, bro.
Well, that's for
Mm.
these weeks. This
Oh, for
week.
the week.
Because my
Oh,
week.
okay.
Oh, it doesn't
okay.
have,
Never mind. Then who cares?
you
My
don't have
girl
of the year?
Susan Boyle, though. Who could forget, man?
Yeah, dude.
American Idol. Was it American Idol?
Wasn't it
Woo,
like
hey,
Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah,
or something?
Britain's Got
Yeah,
Talent
Britain's
for
Got
sure.
Talent.
I mean, can you? Is there a way you can pull up the?
No, that's
top
what
ones
I'm.
of the
That's what
year?
I'm looking for right now.
Can you just Google?
That's
I bet you can just
2020,
Google
Mitch.
fucking top.
Google top album of 2010.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's just get into
Behind
it.
the
Who's
scenes.
who's
Fuck, I'll start. I'll
yeah?
start.
Down
Let's go for it
start.
now.
My album 2010. Like I don't know if I mentioned before, if it got cut off, but I just kind of like went through like for the early 2010s. I just kind of like found whatever the hell I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't really like do it very like subjectively. I do want to mention though, there was one thing. Okay, my album 2010 that I chose was "Man on the Moon" Part 2 by
Yep.
Kid Cudi.
Yep.
Good
Mostly
pick.
because like I've listened to that album throughout the last 10 years. There's a couple songs off there I really like. I like Kid Cudi. Yeah, there's that. But I do want to say that something that the 2010s represented. I kind of discussed this with Chris earlier.
Okay.
The rise and fall of dubstep.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Yes.
I forgot dubstep
Because
was
in
a thing.
2010, Skrillex is like, I don't know, it's not like a fucking beginning. Like I'm sure dubstep was before 2010s,
yeah.
but I did notice that Skrillex is
Scary Monsters and
Scary
Nice Sprites.
Monsters and Nice Sprites
Yeah.
released 10 years ago.
10 years.
Oh my
Shit,
God,
dude.
dude.
It's like looking back, like they'll like fucking.
What was it?
Yeah.
What was that one song? Was it Animal?
Cinema.
No, it was
Animals?
Animals.
Animals, yeah.
By like that
Max.
16-year-old
Yep.
that
Mhm.
that everybody.
Oh, Martin Garrix.
Animals.
Yep.
Was that 2010?
No,
What
that
year was that?
later on. Let's find out. I'm still screen
I was a
recording,
big
so.
dubstepper back in
I think
the day.
everybody was. I think
I
that was
enjoyed it,
I think
yeah.
that was a 2010 thing. Honestly, was just
I still have that album.
Which
Scary
one?
Monsters and Nice Sprites.
okay.
It's in my car right
Called
now.
it.
But okay, like
oh, you
while
have
we're-
it on CD.
I do haven't seen
So
it.
while
bro.
Mitch is looking this up, I want to discuss like
What was that search?
what is dubstep? Like seriously, like
It's the Wubs Wubs.
I mean, does
The wub,
dubstep
wub, wub,
like
wub, wub.
what do you think led to its like rise in popularity? Like because I remember like fucking like it started off
Drugs?
with nothing.
Yeah, it was drugs.
It had to have been
It
drugs.
had
Yeah,
right?
except like fucking I know video games like Borderlands
2022.
2.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Borderlands 2 had
Borderlands
a lot of
2
dubstep.
incorporated dubstep.
Mhm.
And I know there's like
Uh,
multiple like game
Far Cry 3.
things that Far Cry 3
When
has
you're burning the
Skrillex song in it.
marijuana.
Okay.
But not even that, like
Good burp. Good push, boy.
I'm sorry.
Sponsored by White Claw.
White
Thank
Claw.
you.
Thank you.
But even like commercials,
We're not paid for that.
even
With
commercials start having like dubstep in it.
True.
So,
I mean, I
what,
think-
what is the appeal of like
Electronic music
Elect-
hit its like I don't want to say peak, but it hit this form and it was something new and exciting. And I feel like I've watched something about this that talks about like the rise and fall of dubstep, but it wasn't a video specifically about it. It was like talking about like the culture of this last decade. And it talks, and dubstep was in there, and it talked about what made it so popular and why it fell off so fast. And I wish I could remember what video that was,
But yeah, I mean, it had to have been. I mean, it had to have started with psychedelic
yeah,
drugs at
psychedelics.
some point, Molly or whatever the hell.
Because I
Well-
mean, when you listen to it, you feel it,
Yeah, I mean,
and then
that's
when you're enhanced on some sort
Yeah.
of substance, it's more even drunk. Like at bars, it plays
true.
dubstep.
That's what. Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
oh,
yeah,
hell yeah, I'm
you're
feeling
hanging
it.
at a bar. You hear dubstep. You're definitely just automatically dancing. There's no doubt about
It's
it.
go time,
I
baby.
Agree. I agree
Yeah,
with that for
You're
sure.
laying down the
Animals
moves.
was 2013.
Yeah, we looked it
Mm.
up. Yeah.
Fucking
Mm.
A.
Ah.
But anyways,
college.
I mean,
So-
did y'all like listen to dubstep at all, like on a regular basis or
Oh.
anything, or is this just something?
Chris
that came
owns the
along, like-
album, bro.
Let me get real quick. Dallin, you introduced me to dubstep, and I went running with that bitch. So I got Skrillex CDs. I I was into all that.
Yeah, for you Generation
Shit.
Z's, they're called CDs.
CDs.
Compact discs.
I had a
Compact
whole.
dicks.
I still have a Spotify playlist specifically that's dubstep and
Oh,
like
wow.
dance music
Yo,
still to this day.
I do
I'm
too.
subscribed.
Yes, down and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
So, I
would
mean,
subscribe.
I have
You know,
some. What is it?
Okay, so
Harlem Shake. I have that song on there. Everything.
Oh my god.
But that's the
bro.
crazy thing too. Name another dubstep artist.
Yellow Claw. Dead Mouse.
Dead
I
Mouse.
would-
Party.
Dead Mouse.
Yep, Knife Party.
Dead Mouse is
No,
not,
he's more of electronic. You think?
He's
Yeah.
electronic music. That's what's crazy about it too. You go up to any like normal person who listens to a normal amount of music and you ask them about dubstep and what they're going to say
Skrillex.
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 That's the only name they're going to be able to pull out of their ass. That's the
Damn,
only
and,
name
like-
I can think of
And
right now.
ASAP Rocky used Skrillex too,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
It was
oh
huge.
my god.
Oh, there
yeah,
was the
that's
Justin
wild.
Bieber and Skrillex.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That was like the hit. That was Justin Bieber's like whole album in what 2016. Children. That was like all
but that
produced
also
by
had,
Skrillex.
Diplo on it as
Yeah,
well.
Diplo's
So it
best
had
friend.
an actual
R.I.P.,
professional
right?
time.
Diplo's.
Diplo's still alive.
No, who's the one that died?
You're thinking of Avicii.
Oh,
Avicii.
Tim
yeah.
Berg.
Avicii.
Did you not know
I
Tim
did
Berg?
not. What the
Avicii
fuck?
died.
He
yeah.
died like a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Isn't Avicii dope?
R.I.P.
stuff?
Avicii.
No, he's definitely like house music.
House
No.
music.
Mm,
I don't
love
know
myself
what
house
all
music.
that genre. Okay,
There's a lot.
But yeah, other than dubstep though, like yeah, I think electronica has had a very big rise over the 2010s.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. It like Skrillex is like the name when it comes to
Okay.
dubstep.
Mhm.
So Dallin, favorite album in 2010.
I did say it was Man on the Moon
Man
Part
on the Moon,
2.
Part 2.
Kid Cudi. That was with like Pursuit of Happiness and everything, or what
No,
songs were on
no.
there?
Marijuana.
Marijuana. Marijuana.
420.
Let me look it up. Like I honestly haven't heard it in a while.
Ooh, good push.
I don't think it's as good as the original Man on the Moon, which I do
for sure.
think is
Mhm.
Kid Cudi's best album.
Is that 2009? I think.
Kids See Ghosts though with Kanye
Yes.
West was amazing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That
Man on the
was-
Moon Part 2. He doesn't have as many like
That's fun.
outstanding singles from it, but like I said, the early 2010s was pretty hard for me to find a definitive album.
Chris, what you got?
100%.
Okay, so I was gonna go with Kid Cudi's, but I thought about it, and
peeing again.
me, you know what to say. The bladder's small sometimes. Anyways, so I went with more of the genre I was really big into
Okay,
in
okay.
2010.
Okay.
So I picked Harmony by Never Shout Never.
Wow.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I re-listened to that not too long ago too, and I was like, "Yep, this takes me back to like high school, freshman/sophomore year." Cheater Cheater Best Friend Eater is probably the one song that really sticks out because that's the one song that probably was like the first song I ever heard of him
Okay.
or the group. But yeah, I just like the kind of hippie, kind of punk. Would you say punk or would you say more like
Pop
rock,
punk,
pop punk?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, sorry, that's my pick for
No,
2010.
don't apologize for
That's
that.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of quickly go through here, and the ones that stand out to me big time are My Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye.
Yup.
Probably the best produced album of all time. Don't fucking at me at all on that because you're wrong if you don't think otherwise. You're wrong if you think otherwise.
Well, I think
But I also saw the
Wrong.
okay.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye, and then Recovery, Recovery by Eminem, Thank Me Later
Yup.
by Drake. I mean that was Drake
Mhm.
prime time. But I would honestly have to say, given the time as well with Chris, sorry Kanye, but I think my favorite album from 2010 probably had to be Recovery.
Really?
Because
Okay.
I was also like prime time snowboarding at Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
And I had like 3 albums on my iPod Nano.
jeez.
I think that's what I had back in 2010.
shout out.
I couldn't tell you.
But I mean, Cinderella Man, like, dude, that
Mhm.
Recovery just slaps. I mean, that album's super good. And
No
that was,
love with Lil Wayne.
No
dude.
love
No
with.
love.
You want to talk
my
about
God.
epitome
A
of like early
banger,
2010 or the early 2010s? Eminem and Lil
Dude,
Wayne.
Lil
on
Wayne.
that
Dude, they
track.
had like
Mhm.
Eminem and Lil Wayne on like every song they ever did together. Honestly, like
That
one of
Forever?
those things of forever.
The song with Drake, Kanye, Lil Wayne, and Eminem.
How could
You want to talk about
for sure.
just hype
rap
song?
Bangers, bro. I mean, those guys, Lil Wayne, Eminem, Drake, those guys in 2010 were like top of the list. Like you cannot touch these guys at all. And that, definitely Recovery. I got to go with Recovery. Mitch, what you got?
So the two albums I had up there were Recovery by Eminem and Doo-Wops and Hooligans by Bruno Mars.
Real, bro, that's a slapper
And
too.
that's so. Dallin had mentioned it earlier. It's weird because looking back, I could not think of music that I actually sat down and listened to the whole entire album of back in the day.
Yeah.
And these are the two albums that I could think of from this time period that I listened to the whole entire way through, front to back.
Yep.
Knew all the songs that really like, and these albums still hold a very special place in my heart. So I almost view this like Dallin said, it's like the birth of me actually listening to music rather than just like what's on the radio, what's popular, and what your friends kind of show you. Like this is me going out of my own way to find new music.
Okay.
And Recovery was, in my opinion, one of Eminem, like top 3 Eminem albums.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Betcha.
And Doo-Wops and Hooligans was Bruno Mars's first album.
That was the yellow one, right? With like
where he's
Grenade.
like walking on the path.
Yeah,
Count
walking,
on
dude.
Me.
Oh my, that album slaps,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
and it
for
was
sure.
It sort of introduced me into like, I don't say folk rock, but almost this kind of like pop, like I don't know what to call it, pop, I guess, but it was very interesting. It had all these different styles in it. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And album listening is what I view these albums mostly as actually sitting down with the whole entire album, listening front to back.
Yeah.
So that's
Bruno Mars is kind of in his own element too.
Oh,
he
for
kind of
sure.
is like on his own.
It blows my mind that he's
pedestal,
like 5'3", dude.
Yeah, he's a little.
Yeah, he's
dinky guy.
tiny,
dude.
And he put on a hell of a Super Bowl performance too, man.
Yeah, dude.
You guys remember that a couple years back?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He opened it up by him playing the drums. I remember that. I'll never forget that. Yeah, dude, a good album.
Yeah. So yeah, I honestly I couldn't pick between the two because both of those had a very huge impact on me that year. Like I said, this list was
for sure.
interesting.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are we just
Solid
rolling
picks.
right
Yeah,
into the next year?
2011.
Mitch, you want to start this one?
Sure,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
go right
go.
in.
Switch it up. Yep.
I
switch it up.
could not find an album for this year.
Oh, don't
So-
say that.
Really, yeah.
No,
No, I
I see what's on there.
Yeah,
Don't
so-
say that.
Well, what's funny about that, I didn't listen to that album until I got to college, which was like 4 years later.
Oh wow.
And for the
Okay,
people
that's
that
fair. That's fair.
no one can see it because I stopped screen recording at this point. It's Childish Gambino's Camp. I did not listen to that until like our sophomore, junior year
I
of
agree
college.
with that. I agree with that. I think we all kind of
Later.
discovered that album together. Honestly,
Yes.
that was all like our DMAC days, early Iowa State days. For sure,
And
yeah.
I absolutely love that album. It was fantastic.
Slapped.
The idea of it sort of embodied sort of what Eminem did in the sense of there were skits and there was a theme throughout the whole entire thing, and it was the different rhyming schemes and the different melodies and beats, and it was just, but it all felt cohesive. It did not feel like it was all over the place.
Yeah.
It felt like a single project, but at the same time, every track was so different from one another. And because that was also the time that we would watch Donald Glover's Weirdo literally on repeat
Yes.
all the
in
time.
college, not in
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, not in
Yeah,
2011,
yeah,
and that was
college.
wild. I went through 2011 albums. I'm like, I couldn't find one, dude. I looked.
Damn,
I'm like,
really?
no single album. There were songs, but no single album stood out to me. I'm like, yes, that's the one.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on,
So-
I'm just gonna piggyback on Mitch's because I too picked
Oh,
Camp
did you?
for
Good.
2011.
Good.
because I seriously I
Did you
could
listen
not,
to it in 2011?
I don't think so. I remember I bought Camp and Because of the Internet
Yep.
both together
I
at
thought,
FYE RIP.
Are they
Dude,
done?
yeah, they're no longer
They're no
there.
longer there
Rip,
in
dude.
West Des Moines, Jordan Creek. I bought that my freshman year of college, I think.
Okay.
And so that's when I started listening to it, like that summer.
struggling this episode, dog.
Sponsorship,
Yeah.
free sponsorship, man.
dude.
I'm
But yeah.
trying not to
Please
fuck
sponsor
up
it.
the audio.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, Camp is definitely the pick of 2011 because I don't know what it is, but Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, I love his vocals. I love what
Oh,
he
yeah,
does.
dude,
It's
I mean,
different. He has his skits. He's
Was that
blackmailing
really
short
2011?
shorts.
Which one? Yeah,
Can't
so
go wrong.
yeah, so
Can't
I'm
go
just going off the cuff for
Oh, I'm
all of
pissed.
these, just Google
Yeah,
searching.
yeah, that's-
and
that's
Mitch is
Nolan.
pissed because the Carter 4 was
Yep,
2011.
Carter 4
I thought that was
2011.
2012, and that's why
You
I
want to
don't even have
retract?
it out
Do
there.
you want to retract your camp?
Could
huh?
be the Carter 4.
You fucker. You
So-
can, because I'm still picking it.
Well, my thing is, I actually listened to the Carter 4
Yeah,
when
you
it
did.
came
Oh,
out.
yeah, everybody did.
And
It's-
so that's why I when I looked it up, I don't remember seeing the Carter 4, and I thought that was like 2012,
It
and
is
I still didn't have it
2011,
up
that's what I
there.
said.
And if you look at my picks for 2012, you'll see why the Carter 4 didn't stack up against
Yep.
those two up there.
Yep.
So,
So I'll just get into it.
Yes, Nolan.
because the 3 albums that from my Google search that I have picked: the
Quick.
Carter 4, the Sideline Story, J. Cole's debut album, really good. It has really good tracks. So that's what's some workouts on there.
Yeah.
That's
it's a good thing.
Yep.
Am I gonna
And
be your
then-
man?
I think the one that I have to pick, Love You, Kanye and Jay-Z, is Watch the Throne. I listened to that album religiously front to back, and I still do when it came back on Spotify, because fuck Jay-Z. Tidal, dude. Nobody listens to Tidal, bro. Just get rid of it.
Yo, they got the
finally-
FLAC files though,
They
dude.
finally came back on Spotify,
Yep.
thank God. And Watch the Throne is just perfect all the way through. It's the best collab album of all time. Don't at me if you think otherwise. You're
At
wrong
him,
again.
please.
Yeah, at me, please. At QLCP, actually. But
At hashtag
Watch the
QL.
Throne. I mean, that thing was phenomenal. It
QLCP.
just produced wonderfully. And they had the one song, I can't remember what it was called, but it was an 8-minute song. And the first 3 minutes were silence because they're just ignorant and we're paying for studio space. So they just did 3 minutes of silence and then they went into it. But yeah, Watch the Throne, baby, 2011.
2011
Down, what you got for us? Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
The Steelers.
Well,
I'm gonna
First
steal
off-
your White Claws.
I don't give a shit about Pittsburgh.
Woo!
Damn,
He's
you
a
hear
Chargers fan.
Fuck
I
you, Ben
didn't-
Roethlisberger.
You know, the only team I gave a shit about was the Chargers because I was born in San Diego.
Shout out.
They ain't even in fucking San Diego anymore.
Nope.
They're in L.A.
LA.
So I don't give
Fuck
a fuck
LA.
about the NFL
Where are the
anymore.
Rams at now?
Yo.
But I would like to mention an album from a band called The Windmills.
Yes.
They're pretty like indie hip hop band, just two dudes. Their album from 2011 was called As Above, So Below. It's pretty cool. So if you like, some more like chill
Mm-hmm.
hip hop. It's not really chill, but it's more hip hop. Is there a difference between hip hop and rap? Would you say there's a difference? Like I feel like rap can be more like trap orientated, but like hip hop is gonna be more like inspired by the early and late '90s type of like. I don't know. It's kind of hard to differentiate the two.
It is for sure. For
Um,
me, I thought it was like rap is more gangsta and hip hop's more urban.
Gangsta rap.
Gangsta, yes.
I don't know if it's the flows that
I-
differ, but
Yeah. Freddie Gibbs for sure
Anyways.
is rap.
the Windmills,
Yo.
the Windmills,
man.
the
Freddie
Windmills.
Gibbs is
Check them
rap.
out. My album from the year was actually not an album; it's an EP
Oh.
by ASAP Rocky.
A$AP Rocky.
Long live ASAP.
Oh.
That was from 2011?
Yes.
I love bad bitches.
bro.
That's
it's
my
just-
fucking problem.
Long Live ASAP is awesome. It's kind of like, the beginnings or the stirrings of more of the cloud rap scene with production from Clams Casino. Clams Casino is awesome.
Shout out.
Check out his actual work. He has a lot of really cool songs. But yeah, like that album definitely like helped bring me into the rap genre because I know there's one song that turned me into a rap or hip hop fan. And that song was Wiz Khalifa's The Plan.
Yep.
Plan?
Yep.
Just because like that song is like so laid back. It's just so laid back. And I never heard anything like that before. Like I was mostly like more of like a punk rock or metal type
Yeah.
of guy. And, like transitioning from that, The Plan from Wiz Khalifa into like ASAP Rocky's Long Live ASAP. I don't know, it's very natural and I really like the production on that album.
Okay. I do kind of want to go off of that too. Is that I love ASAP, and I don't know if I listened to Long Live ASAP in 2011, but I do just kind of want to give a shout out to. Have you ever listened to the Cozy tapes? I know Chris has.
I've seen it.
The whole ASAP crew does like an album, like it's just an ASAP album, and they're called the Cozy Tapes, is what they're
Cozy
called.
Tapes.
Cozy Tape 1, 2, and 3, I believe. They're just really good. I don't know. It's just all the homies getting into it.
It's all the homies, brother.
Yeah, bro, it's cool. Are we just?
Yeah, Dallin, what's 2012?
2012.
What's your 2012
Shit.
looking
Do you want
like?
me to
Keep
start?
on going.
Put me
Yeah,
on
I can
Fine.
start. Let me
yeah,
start.
Chris, you go for it.
So I probably did not listen to this album in 2012, but it definitely is an album that I fucking love. You guys have never heard of this band or this group, Bumpin' Uglies.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Okay, no one's heard of them. Bumpin' Uglies, and Go Folk Yourself
Is
is the album is called.
Love it.
Fucking love this album. It's reggae-esque, raw, kind of acoustic. My favorite song on that album is White Boy Reggae,
Okay.
and they
Sounds
get
like
really
a Nolan
deep.
kind of song.
Yeah, it's definitely Nolan's vibe.
Why am I just all super white all?
Well, because you heard of Bumpin' Uglies, so you're super white
Yeah, I guess.
boy
Sure,
reggae.
whatever.
But
I
anyways,
think I've heard of Bumpin' Uglies because of you. But
probably, but yeah, that's probably. I really enjoyed this album from them, and I'm a big Bumpin' Uglies fan. But that's my 2012. Give it a listen.
I got this.
Go for
Let's
it. Go for
go.
it. What's your 2012?
The most obvious one for me, as far as rap goes, Good Kid, Mad City.
Yep.
Yo.
Kendrick Lamar.
dude. I mean,
I didn't even look off that. I don't know, there's not really much to be said. I'm pretty sure everyone's already heard that album.
And if you haven't, please
the only
don't
other
listen
thing,
to it.
the only other
please.
thing I'll give a shout out. Not
Kendrick Lamar, a.k.a.
Okay, not ASAP Rocky, but Aesop Rock.
Okay.
Mm.
Skeleton.
Was that AESOP?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know. I really like him, but at the same time, it's really fucking hard to understand what the fuck he's saying.
Dude, that's like Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is just hard all the time.
There's been a thing done where it's like, I forgot what website did it, but they took like the first 3,000, I don't know if it's 3 or like 5 or 10. I can't remember how many words they took, but they took the first so many words of each rapper and picked out like how many unique words were used.
I remember that
Mhm.
website because Eminem was like giant compared to everyone else.
Actually, how many words were used?
Yeah.
MF Doom and Aesop Rock. I'm pretty sure like 1 and 2.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, but Aesop
My-
Rock has an awesome vocabulary. I mean, I
Yeah.
really like listening to his music.
My memory is very
yeah.
muddy, so.
I'm sure. I know Eminem was up there.
Uh-huh.
I don't
But I
know.
remember that website because it was like it's like a mesh almost. So you could like hover over people's stuff.
It was a bunch of. I remember there being just like a bunch of different circles, and you like scroll left and right.
Yeah. This blanket's falling.
You're
But I know Aesop Rock was up there.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
MF Doom was up there. I'm pretty sure Eminem was up there. I don't know. Aesop Rock's really good. An album that I would really like is nice to like introduce him to would be The Impossible Kid, his newest album. He produced it himself. It's definitely not for everyone, but hey, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey Kirby.
Yeah, so I got Hey Kirby. Is that another album then?
No, it's a song.
It's a Kirby. It's he raps about his cat.
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking banger.
So 2012,
Damn.
boys. I mean, there's no argument. Probably Good Kid, Mad
Mad
City is
City.
probably the best album in there for sure. But to be different, and I think I did.
Exactly.
I don't know if I did listen to it in the year or not, but I'm pretty sure I did because my boy Frank Ocean came into the world. He took the world by
Was that Channel
fucking
Orange that
storm.
year?
Channel Orange came out in 2012. He took the world by storm, and that album, I literally listened to that album all the way through today. Not kidding at all. But Channel Orange by Frank Ocean, I think that album is super controversial too because Frank Ocean is all like. Looking in 2020 now, he's always been like kind of ghost, like he does his own thing, he moves his own
He
way.
likes unfrosted
But
Pop-Tarts,
he
bro.
came. He
Is that
does.
a sexual innuendo?
But what I'm trying to say is, motherfuckers, listen. Channel Orange came out and it was perfect because Frank Ocean's voice is fucking phenomenal, just
Beautiful.
perfect.
It's
But
pretty good.
then this is in 2011, And after all of this music and stuff, he came out. After this album, this is when he came out, and he dropped off the face of the fucking planet because he got so much hate for being gay, dude.
Seriously?
And that's like the thing about this decade, which is wild too. It's like in 2012, that time era in the early 2010s. That was like, you know, same era as Modern Warfare and all that shit. Like that shit, just like what, like, you know, being gay, being openly gay was not okay at all, I would say. And that's like the thing about this year is like, it's like, or this decade is, it's changed tenfold. Like, you know, like you're almost expected to be gay now, you know? Like, I mean, like, but that like,
no one is born gay.
that's
J.K.
why-
Rowling decides when you turn.
I mean,
gay.
yeah, I don't know about.
that's why that album was wild though, was just because like,
Never mind.
my bad. I was
good.
finishing up my thought, but
It's
like,
Tom, you can finish your shot.
thank you.
Ah.
But I don't know, like he took the world by storm, dropped this album, everybody loved it, and then all of a sudden it just turned around and everybody hated him.
I
It
like
was
Venus.
wow, this dude's gay. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, like speaking of like, you know, the more acceptance of being gay and whatnot. Like I remember, like I know Chris and I, like as we went to high school together. You two went to high school together.
Yep.
I know, like when we were in the early like 2010s. Well, fuck, we graduated
2013.
2013. Can't believe I'm fucking forgetting that shit now.
You old ass.
Yo, damn.
But I know when we were like
old.
younger, Chris and I used to be like, oh, you know, that's gay or this is
Yep.
gay or
Yep.
everything is fucking gay.
Everything's
Yep.
gay,
Yep.
brother.
Yep.
And now when I hear fucking, I should stop cussing. Now when I hear people say, you know, that's gay or
gay.
this is gay, I just fucking cringe, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know, like, cause I got drunk with a buddy, a couple months back, and he started like, he usually never says anything about that's gay or
Yeah.
this is gay, but he
Yeah.
got drunk, he started saying that shit, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just very cringy now.
Yeah, it's just not okay
You
anymore.
just
It's
posted
like-
cringe, bro.
Cringe.
Why'd you post cringe?
I am cringe.
Ooh, be the cringe.
Mitch.
So therefore, cringe.
I mean, there's really not. I guess I had Good Kid, Mad City because obviously.
How couldn't you? How
Good
couldn't
Kid,
you?
Mad City.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
it's-
had to steal that.
No, dude,
Yeah.
you're all good. Don't. I 100% agree with that in how things have changed. If you haven't listened to that, I'm not kidding you. Please go listen to it now. It's a phenomenal album. Even if you don't like rap, the production on it is great. But you have to listen to it as an album. You cannot just be like, yeah, Good Kid, Mad City, shuffle. No, bitch. You sit down with the album, you hit the first track, and you listen to it, not shuffling it all the way through. Make sure it's crossfaded, and it's beautiful.
No
dude.
exceptions. Yeah.
No, you have to listen to it front to back. The other album, though, I had up there was Walk the Moon's self-titled album, Walk the Moon. Denver got me into them, and that wasn't until we went to DMAC. And that really got me into like alt rock and stuff. So later on, like the Black Keys and stuff of that genre. But that album as a whole really holds a special place. Small Pools was another band, but like Denver introduced me to Walk the Moon, and oh my god, like that self-titled album is phenomenal to this day. Still listen to it. It's great.
Dope.
That's
yeah.
really all I have to
2020 was that 2012?
2012
was a good year,
2012.
boys.
Yeah.
2013. Nolan, you want to start this one off, or?
Yeah, so just moving right along into 2013, the year that we graduated, fellas. Woo! Just going through the albums that I found interesting, a couple of them. Yeezus, of course. Kanye, that was a good one. Kanye, damn, he's been... Daft Punk came out with their album.
Yes.
That's
Random Access Memories,
it's
wasn't it?
which one? Yep. That's right. It wasn't an album, but Acid Rap. That's that's close.
Very close.
That's not Acid Rap, but
That's
yeah,
Coloring
that's
Book, but-
Coloring Day, but yeah.
Sorry
That's
that I don't know Chance.
Acid Rap, Chance, that was a very good mixtape, almost an album. I would give you that. But Nothing Was the Same by Drake. That's good too. But the one that really touches my heart, ASAP's Long Live ASAP was there. Born Sinners there.
J. Cole.
But my album of 2013 has got to be damn, the Marshall Mathers LP2 came out in 2013. Wow. It's got to be
Dude,
I'm getting distracted.
Speaking of the Marshall Mathers LP2, I remember being in fucking calculus class with a dumbass professor. I remember you two. especially
yapping
Nolan
about it.
freaking out about the
Yep.
Marshmallow Mathers LP too back then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think my
Yeah, bro,
favorite,
look up there.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
damn
yeah.
straight. Damn
Oh, yeah.
straight.
Up top there.
But my album of 2013 has got to be the 2020 Experience by Justin Timberlake, and I have
Oh, wow.
no shame about it at all.
No.
That's a great
that
album.
is, you can just put it on. That's a vinyl album that you get on vinyl for sure. That baby,
That's a vibe.
that's got to be Justin Timberlake's best album of all time. It was just it was so beautiful. The whole thing through and through. I think my favorite song on that album is That Girl.
That girl.
It's a good song. But yeah, 2020 Experience. I mean, literally the production on that is insane, and every song is like at least 5 minutes long. I think it's insane. Like
It's a
every single
fantastic
track,
album.
it's such a good album. That's definitely got to be my number one. Who wants to go next?
Like to
I
hear
can
that.
go.
All right, go for it.
My number one was Acid Rap. But the thing that I love about it was I didn't hear it the year it came out. Chris, what year did we move to Ames?
2014.
I think it was like probably halfway through 2014 or a little bit later
Mhm.
that you started playing Acid Rap on our speaker in the apartment. And I just correlate that song with that album with a lot of like good time. Like anytime I listen to it, I just remember, you and I hanging out, grilling, having some drinks, just chilling out in our apartment in Ames.
Yep.
I know you'd play that. I'd wake up in the mornings to you fucking blasting that goddamn
Yeah, I'm sorry.
goddamn album.
I'm sorry.
But I remember, vividly, like waking up to hearing that album. And anytime I listen to that album, I mean, it just really brings me back to the
Dude.
year that I lived in Ames. And,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that year was.
I love. Yeah, that's a good
I
album.
say, like that year was filled with a lot of good times and some really shitty times.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I hear that album, it just brings back all the good memories. A lot of grilling out, smoking fucking cigars,
Yes.
drinking whiskey,
Yes.
Yep.
getting shit done.
Yeah.
God bless.
I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
That time back here was
I
incredible.
fucking miss
though.
that.
Yeah.
Back to the days of living in like 4 or 5 bedroom apartments and
Yeah.
fucking being degenerates.
Mhm.
5 out of the 7 days of the week.
5?
7?
Yeah. Sorry, I was somewhat responsible.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, like
Who's just
Acid Rap would
Loser.
probably be my project of the year. I'd like to give a shout out to Mellophobia by KG Elephants.
Yes.
They have some pretty goddamn good songs on that.
Okay.
You betcha.
Chris, what you got for us?
So I think this album came out in 2013, but I do remember listening to it prior. 21 Pilots, Vessel.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful
Vessel.
bro. Oh, my God.
My first ever album hearing 21 Pilots. I just fell in
I
love.
mean, that's their first album, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Or at least their first, Josh, because they have their self-titled.
Yeah, it's self-titled, which is the dude that's hanging over the edge of the bed.
That with brains.
Brains
Yeah.
blown out.
Oh, I
That's
don't think
another
I've ever
good
seen
album.
But that was Tyler and his 2 brothers.
Yes.
Ah.
Then they left the band or whatever, and then Josh joined, and then they had Regional at Best, which was an EP,
Mhm.
and then they had Vessel.
And then they
Okay.
had Vessel, yeah.
Okay.
And then way before that, Tyler has his own self-titled, no pun intended.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
there's
Yeah,
that as well.
that's interesting because it was him in high school, but still pretty decent.
Damn.
But yeah, nope, that's mine. I do Acid Raps definitely second.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah, you
Ugh.
definitely turned me on to 21 Pilots. That's 100% fact.
Right on.
No doubt about it.
right on.
Yeah.
Mitch, what you got?
Dude, every time I knew this was gonna happen, we were gonna go through the years, and I'm gonna find albums where I'm like, how the hell did that not end up on my list? Like Vessel, that should have been on there.
Yep.
Then where you got?
Acid Rap.
Yeah,
Yep.
stuff later.
I mean, I've never been big into Chance. It's just never been one, thing. The Marshall Mathers LP too. I don't know how the hell that didn't end up on
Yeah,
there.
true.
I think my thing was I was going through different albums, and for this one I picked Common Courtesy by A Day to Remember.
Mm-hmm.
I did not listen to this album in 2013. I can
Okay.
100% guarantee you. However,
Right on.
A Day to Remember, I think this is the 3rd year in a row that's come up as my number 1 played artist on Spotify.
Really? Okay.
Yes, I have just there's something about them and how they can have songs that are so heavy and very metalcore-esque and then turn around and it's like a folk song.
Exactly.
It's catchy. It's really
They're
catchy.
so good. I've seen them
Oh, you've seen him a shit ton.
3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
They're the most. No, I think I've seen State Champs more times, but it's up there. I've seen them at least 3 times. They're just they're just a shit ton of fun. And this album as a whole really solidified them as we're not just pop punk, we're just good.
Okay.
It was a fantastic album front to back. I really enjoy it. So that's why I picked that. I think I already had that set in my mind. I'm like, I know this album came out in 2013, so this is my 2013 album.
Can we just take a quick shout out? I don't know about you guys, but I always loved all the remixes that A Day to Remember and all these different bands did of the pop to punk.
Pop
dude.
goes
Pop
punk.
goes punk. Yeah.
Pop goes punk. It was like the rawest thing ever. And that was like everybody's fucking emo, fucking like.
Yep. I mean, I'm still like that.
Oh yeah,
Angsty teens.
Angsty teens.
Angsty
for
teens.
sure,
But
bro.
yeah, that's actually what got them, from what I remember, really
sure.
popular was
For
their cover
sure.
of Kelly Clarkson's "Since You've Been Gone."
Yep.
It's actually on their reissue of "For Those Who Have Heart," which is their 2007 album. Yes, that cover kicks ass.
Damn,
dude.
they've been around then. Holy shit.
2003, I think.
Holy shit. I didn't
And
realize
they
that.
have another project coming out this
Damn,
year. It
bro.
was supposed to come out in November and it got pushed back. They're like, we're not ready to put it on. I'm like, dude, I can wait. Because that's the thing. The last summer they did a song with Marshmello of all people, and that song was fucking wild.
Everyone's
Okay.
done a song with Marshmallow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, dude. Marshmello's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Blah.
Are you ready for 2014?
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody have anything different than what's on the board right now?
On Mitch's
For
board?
2014?
Oh,
2013?
fuck yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Wow.
I had to be
Oh, wow.
different. I know I wanted to pick this one that you guys have on the board here, but I had to be different.
All right, everybody.
Oh, hell yeah. I got something
Yeah,
different.
down,
Okay.
yeah, down.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
you guys go
Jesus,
first.
Yeah,
wow.
2-1. I mean,
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll
It's
get
a
there.
surprise.
what you got up there is great. I love it.
It is, yep.
It's
Yep.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But for
Pretty good.
2014,
Pretty good.
I chose Pinata by Freddie Gibbs.
Woo!
Okay.
Fucking
Pinata was produced by.
Probably Freddie.
Oh my God, no! I can't believe
Dr.
I'm getting
Dre?
No, it's
Metro Boomin?
Danger. No, is it Danger Mouse? No, that
DJ
Danger
Mustard.
Mouse is fucking
Dubstep.
shit. I am having a blank. I'm drawing a blank.
6'9". It was
He's
6'9".
Yeah, it was
6'9",
6'9".
produced it-
From his cell.
Yeah.
Pinata.
Madlib.
Okay, I'm gonna go on really quick. I'll come back to that.
Madlib?
My second album. I don't know if you all have heard of Clipping.
Yes.
Nope.
Have you heard of David? Fucking A.
David Guetta.
Yeah.
David Guetta.
David Guetta.
Guetta. However the fuck you pronounce his
Yeah,
last name.
it's foreign. That's
Yeah, he is foreign, all
He is
right. I
foreign,
think he's
all right.
Swedish,
Sweden.
possibly.
Sweden.
He's Swedish. Like, beauty pie.
So yeah, Clipping. Their self-titled album, Clipping, is amazing. I forget the name of the MC of the group. He was on a TV show. I forget what the name of the Blackish. I think Blackish.
That's a TV show, yeah.
His first name is David. I can't remember his last name. He played a role on Blackish. He also played a role on the Broadway show Hamilton.
Okay.
Hmm.
I would say he's probably one of the best MCs.
And what is this
Ever.
album called?
Clipping.
Okay.
Clipping.
Best
Um,
MC ever. You heard
He's
it
one of the
here
best. Like his
first.
flows are amazing. The wordplay is amazing. Everything about that album.
Summertime on that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything about the
Okay, I'll
album
have
is
to listen to
awesome.
it then.
Yes,
Damn,
please
Jesus.
do.
I've never even. What's his name?
Clipping.
So the
What's his
the
name?
band's called Clipping.
The band,
I think it's David Deegs or David. You're
Okay.
making me Google this right now.
You're good.
Yeah, David Diggs.
David Diggs.
David
Okay.
Diggs.
Okay.
He's a very talented man
Mm-hmm.
because he, I mean he,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's They said my other album
Freddie Gibbs, right?
was Freddie
Freddie
Gibbs' Pinata.
There we go.
Recommend.
And that dude is a monster, dude.
Yes.
He releases an album like every single year.
I'm getting a call. Pinata was awesome. I will come back later with who produced it. But
Okay,
let's
Chris,
go
who you
on.
got?
I have Run the Jewels.
Ooh,
Okay.
And they released both the first and second album that year, but I'm choosing Run the Jewels 2 because it has
Okay.
a lot of bangers and it
Okay.
still has a lot of stuff that keeps up with today's rap, if
I
you
got
will.
you. I got you.
But
was
yeah,
that the one with the? I mean, I know their logo is like the gun
yes,
shooting.
the
Is that
piston
the?
gun.
Is that the one with the actual jewels hanging off the gun? Is that like a white background?
It's a
or is it
red,
red one.
That
Yeah,
one's the
okay.
red.
The reason, the Need for Speed reboot had some of their songs on it, and I
Okay.
remember that's. I don't want to say got me into them, but that's how I found out about them. I'm like, oh, these guys are pretty good. So
Right on.
that's. I remember like listening to some of their stuff.
Yeah,
so.
like Killer Mike
Yeah.
is a
Killer
great.
Mike. And
oh.
he's got a pretty good. He's got a documentary on Netflix.
Yes,
or
he does.
something That's
It's a-
pretty good, right?
Yeah, pretty funny too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool shit.
Yeah,
like,
he talks about the 13th Amendment.
13th Amendment.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
He's very political,
Interesting.
and like his
He is.
raps are very like they speak a lot about like truth and such.
That's
And
cool. Yeah.
they get down to business though, and like DTFH,
Okay.
do dope, fuck hope.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
Fuck yeah.
So I think me and Mitch have the same favorite album. But is there any other albums that really stood out to you in 2014?
not
'Cause
that I can remember.
The
Now that I was looking.
Oxymoron.
Yes,
Schoolboy Q.
I've
I've
seen
close
Schoolboy
day.
Q live.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him with Joey Badass. They were in Des Moines. Like,
What the fuck? You went to the Joey Badass concert?
yeah, it was. So it was Schoolboy
Where
Q.
the hell was
So-
I at for this? Oh yeah, he was at Seven Flags.
Yeah, I went with Michaela.
What the fuck? I can't remember where I was, but I remember I had a whack ass reason for not going,
Yeah,
dude. I should have
Michaela and I
gone.
went.
Yeah,
and
you
I
invited
remember,
me.
Yeah, and I remember the thing that stands out to me the most.
God
it was
damn
Schoolboy
it.
Q's 40th birthday, 30th. It was a
Oh.
decade. I know that.
That had collard greens on it,
Collard
dude.
Yeah.
That might
And
be the
Someone
best
handed
song
him
ever.
a blunt the
But-
size of a forearm. I shit you not. He literally reaches out and he looks at it and he's like, he goes more or less, what the fuck is this?
God bless.
Takes a hit out of it. He's like, and passes it back into the crowd, and then the whole crowd sang "Happy Birthday" to him.
That's so
Oh, that's
sick.
It was so much fun. Both Joey Badass and him were very much entertainers.
Oh,
It wasn't
yeah,
like
bro.
I'm a rapper, I'm here because I have to. Like they wanted to be there.
Yeah,
I had a
dude.
shit ton of fun, dude.
Dude, collard greens absolutely
Yes.
slaps, bro. What's he say? My favorite rap lyric of all time is
All time, you heard it here
all
first.
time. It's what he goes.
Can't even remember it.
Smoking weed and drinking, all the college students loving Q. What these make a year, I'm spending that on my daughter's shoes, bro. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was
close.
another thing he said. He literally looked out. He's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I have to say this. This is the whitest crowd I've ever performed to before." I'm like,
Welcome to
Welcome
Iowa.
to Iowa.
"Yeah, welcome to
yeah,
Iowa."
no
I mean,
shit.
yeah, probably.
No shit. But I mean, the king himself, he was also my artist of the decade on Spotify. Came out with, I'm just gonna say it now, guys. I got a spoiler
you have
alert.
to.
This is my album of the decade, if not album of all time.
Ooh, damn.
2014, Forest Hill Drives, J.
J.
Cole. Dude, oh my God. I remember I probably listened to this album probably
So many
100
dude.
times.
So many
And-
times.
and no exaggeration. And every time I listen to it, I don't listen to one track. I literally listen to
The
it
whole
from the beginning to the very fucking end. And his very last song is his credits or whatever. And I listen
to
to
the
the
whole thing.
15-minute song,
Mhm.
the whole damn thing, every single time, dude. I don't skip
Because
it.
it's like sincere.
Oh
Like, he puts
my-
all his like. It's a
That's
straight
it.
shout
It's-
out. Yeah.
I also have this weird theory. Also, maybe we're getting into it here soon. Hopefully, when I Google search, it comes up. I have this really weird theory about artists' third album, that it's their best album.
That's what I was
Because
thinking
this
about
was
too.
J. Cole's third album. Big Sean's third album was Dark Paradise, and I think that's 2015. That might be my favorite.
Fuck, dude, that's
2015.
another album.
Um,
We're gonna get into that when we go
But
next
yeah,
year.
yeah, for sure. I mean, 2014 Forest Hill Drive was absolutely beautiful in every. I don't think it could have changed at all and been any better than what it is. I don't know. Mitch?
100%. I'm right there with you. I remember the first time it was. Is it called Wet Dreams? I'm
Yep,
drawing a mind
Wet
blank.
Dreams, yep.
I am also a little drunk
Yes.
right now.
Ooh,
So
excellent.
I remember listening to
it
that.
easy.
I can't remember what we were doing, but I was in the back of Jordan's GTI. And there was a whole bunch of us. I think you were there.
Ryan Harder is probably there too.
Yeah,
'cause he
Ryan
loved
Harder.
Wet Dreams, bro.
And I think Michaela may have been with us, and we were just driving and bumping to the
You
shit.
love Wet
He
Dreams.
loves wet dreams.
Dude, and that album is just I view it to like Good Kid Mad City in a sense of the project is so pure and like front to back it is awesome to listen to. If you have not listened to it, please do.
Please.
That's all I really have to say. There's nothing more I can really say about that. So
Are we back to Dallin over here for
Ooh,
2015?
2015.
Shit. I'd like to clarify. I
Clarify.
did, Google search. So Pinata was produced by Madlib.
Mad Loop.
He's an awesome producer. I was getting mixed up because Madlib also did a project with MF Doom called
Yep.
Mad Villainy. If you've never heard of that, you should fucking listen to that right now.
Yes, you should.
all right,
Anyways, we move on to 2015.
Yep.
halfway there.
So I have 3 albums. I'll leave one of them off because it's, I don't know, kind of like a obvious one, but if nobody mentions it, I'll mention at the end. My first one was Joey Badass, Before the Money.
Okay.
I mean, he was only like 22 years old. This album's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's nice, like old school hip hop, like East Coast, New York
Mm-hmm.
hip hop, amazing.
I'm walking here.
My other album, I'll skip that one. My third one was Oh Wonder, self-titled album.
Yes.
Oh Wonder.
Yes.
Amazing, like female vocalist, electronic production. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of. Have y'all ever heard of Oh Wonder?
Would it be more like a Zella Day or would it be more like a Cruella type of electronica music?
I don't know either of those artists.
Corella's a little too upbeat. So
Cruella's like fucking.
Chris would
Yeah.
be better explaining it, but it's like, you know, it's a female vocalist with uplifting, like happy electronica. Like,
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, it's really good. I definitely recommend checking out Oh Wonder. Their
Okay.
self-titled album, Oh Wonder.
Oh Wonder.
They do have a couple of covers on there. And they're pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's amazing.
Before we get any further in the 2015 albums, we have to go back to 2014 for one more album that we forgot to mention because me and Chris bonded
Yes.
heavily on this album. I
Mhm.
can't believe neither one of us mentioned
A
it.
Great Big World.
A Great Big
Yep, A Great
World,
Big
dude.
World.
Their first album.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was it officially
Uh,
called? I just had it pulled up.
Is
that's
anyone
the
out
one-
there?
Is there anybody out
Is
there?
there
And that's the
anybody
one
out there?
with Say Something on it.
Say
with
Yeah, I
Christina
remember you guys
Aguilera.
listening to that shit all
Oh
the time.
my
My
god.
God.
Me and Chris would just sit in the car together and sing
Sing
every
every
single song back to back, like
Yeah.
together. And then we went to a
Concert.
We went to the they were at Woolies.
Woolies.
The Great
Really?
Big World
Yep.
came to Woolies. I don't know when we went there, but it was like a bunch of 12-year-olds.
It was
me
a
and
lot
Chris-
of females.
A lot of just 12-year-old girls and like teenage girls, and me and Chris, we were both like 18 or 19, maybe 20.
No,
at this
you were
point.
21. I was 20.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. And dude, we were
Every
just
song.
fucking belting every single song, dude. It was so
You
fun.
were those guys.
Those guys.
Yeah, bro. It
Yeah, the
was
people in front of us turn around like, "Oh, you guys know these people?" It's like, fuck yeah, we know
every
single
single
song.
song. Yeah, how
Damn,
could we
dude.
forget?
Good
Okay,
times.
Chris, what do you got for 2015?
So there's a lot of good options out there. I see Mitch has one up that he's gonna discuss, but I had to. I'm sorry, I had to go with Logic and The Incredible True Story.
Oh my God, did we listen to that?
We listened to this
for the
together
first time.
The first time.
Oh
So
my God,
this
that was
album,
incredible.
it was. I picked it because of the time I was in college, the time I was with friends, and like where I was like trying to think of what I wanted to do with my life. And this album really spoke to me
Okay.
in that way.
Okay.
And sure, I was probably like a little high when we listened to it, but
Maybe.
I listened to this fucking song a shit ton that year. And there's a lot of other albums I could have chose, but
We literally just had a listening party. We had
Yeah.
the lights off and we're literally just chilling. Because it's a story. That album is a true story.
It's an actual, like
yeah.
you can skip the
Holy
skits or
shit.
you can't, but either way, like that's my
Yep.
pick for
All
2015.
right, I got you. My 2015 pick, I think I know the album that Alan was going to talk about that he skipped, I'm assuming, and if he doesn't, I'll bring it up as well. But 2015, because I mentioned it when I was thinking of it, I'm glad I remembered, was Dark Sky Paradise by Big Sean. That's not the album that you skipped that I think you skipped.
No.
But that's the album that I'm picking for because it was Big Sean's third album. And that had I Don't Fuck With You on it. That's one of those albums that I can just listen to right on the track, like literally front to back. There's so many good songs on that. And really Big Sean's coming out party, I would say, for sure. Everybody that, like, I Don't Fuck With You, put them on the map for
For
everybody across the board. I don't know. It's a really solid album.
Yeah. 2015 was a heavy year for me in just sense of not only just finding myself, but it was almost a music renaissance.
Okay.
It's what got me really into the two genres I'm really into, which is punk, pop punk, and that stuff, and not necessarily rap, but more hip hop, R&B. So the albums I had up there were Around the World and Back by State Champs, which is more or less just a run-of-the-mill pop punk album, but it's done so well. And I've seen State Champs 4 times now. It's just a lot of fun, and it felt like the rebirth of the late 90s, early 2000s pop punk. Blurry Face by 21 Pilots.
My name's
Blurry Face.
I didn't listen to that album until I think it was 2016, that spring.
Oh.
But I remember Chris constantly, you have to listen to 21 Pilots. You have to listen to 21 Pilots. You have to listen to 21 Pilots. For whatever reason, I kept on being like, yeah, I'm going to listen to it. And I just kept on putting it off. And I was in one of my drawing classes in my industrial design program. And the classes were 3 hours long. I'm like, okay, I need something to listen to. And I'm like, I'll give 21 Pilots. I'll listen to 21 Pilots. I put on Blurry Face. I'm just like, I'll listen to it front and back. And by the time the album was done, I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing?
right. Yeah.
I'm like, I was blown away. So I listened to the album again. And then I'm like, okay, they've got to have other stuff. And really all that was there was Vessel. So I'm like, I listened to Vessel. I'm like, oh my God. I absolutely fell in love. So that's sort of my foray back into pop punk and alt rock. And then I had Beauty Behind the Madness by The Weeknd, and If You're Reading This, It's Too Late by Drake.
Wow.
Which-
you had a lot. 2015 was your year,
Yeah.
bro.
There's a lot.
Dude, Beauty Behind the Madness for more of an R&B chill vibe, and that's what really got me into The Weeknd and enjoying his style of music.
Yes.
I never really got into the trilogy or anything like that. And then If You're Reading This, It's Too Late is Drake's best album, hands down.
Okay.
Fight Me.
I'll agree.
Throw.
That's
100%. That's all I'm going to leave it at.
Focus.
That album, and all of these albums have a very special place in my heart because when I look back on my college days, like these were defining soundtracks to
Okay.
a lot of my college
Okay.
days. So
Who's starting off 2016? Mitch, you want
Well,
to just roll, or you?
I'll start 2015 or 2016 by mentioning the album that nobody else mentioned.
yeah.
For
2015,
2015, yeah. What was yours?
which to me, my other album on 2015 was To Pimp a
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna
Pimp
say.
a
I knew it. I knew
Pimp a
it.
Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
had
I
to
thought
be on
somebody
there.
else would mention it, but
Yep.
I mean, it goes without saying. It's fucking Kendrick.
That's also the album that I was gonna mention, by the way. A very good album.
Although this
Very
is
good
later,
album.
but
Except I did not. The only thing I don't like about that album is after every single song, he has that like skit that he always does.
Oh, you don't like that?
you know,
No, like it's the same skit though. After every single song, it's the same like.
But the thing is, Nolan, it's a skit, and it keeps adding on to the skit, which
Yeah.
then comes to the big reveal at the end where Kendrick is talking to Tupac in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And so, if you listen to a podcast me and Dallin probably listen to, Dissect, where this guy goes through the whole To Pimp a Butterfly and he dissects every single song,
Yep.
and how Kendrick he feels like he's connected to Tupac in some way.
Yeah.
And so it gives it more of like a full meaning and a full how caterpillar can go through these different stages to become a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah.
And so it talks about how Kendrick's kind of went through his stages of a rapper and being
And he
like all
did-
fuck shit, and then learning what the government wants from him and all what the people want from him, to being like, this is what I want to do.
For sure. Yeah, I mean that album's that's why he won Album of the Year
Exactly.
that year, and he beat 2014 for whatever reason. They were on the
I'm
same
sorry.
ballot, and I'm mad forever for that because J. Cole obviously deserved it more. Well, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Oh.
it's a really good album for sure.
Understand,
I
but-
mean, like,
I can understand where it gets repetitive and you're just like,
yeah.
what's the
no,
point of this?
I mean, it's a
But-
beautiful album.
Mhm.
These Walls, I think that's
Yeah.
I love
Ooh.
These Walls, bro. That's
Ooh.
a good.
I mean, I really liked. I think it was called You.
Yes.
Yep, that's
Yes.
a good one too.
Talks
And
about,
you
you know,
and me,
evaluating
both of them
himself.
were really good. Yeah.
But going into 2016, my album for 2016 is Run the Jewels 3.
Okay.
Came out the end of the year in December. Fucked everybody's top 10 list up.
You bet your ass.
The other album I like to mention would be, I don't think anybody else would have this, is Isaiah Rashad's
Mm.
The Sun's Tirade.
Mm.
clue.
Amazing.
Very
Yes,
good. I love
very
it.
good.
Very laid back hip hop album. The only other album I like to give a mention to would be the Blank Face LP by
There we
Schoolboy
go.
Q.
Good.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There's another college album right there.
Yep, 100%. Chris, you just want to roll with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. So, after all the fucking albums I could have
This
chose,
guy, man.
Small bladder.
all the different genres I went through, I had to go with the one album that, once again, time, place, emotions,
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Childish Gambino's "Awaken My Love."
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
This album was different
Very
from any
different.
other project Childish has ever done.
100% agree.
So, yes, there's some songs on it that at
Skippable.
first I was very like, but after listening to this album, however fucking many times I listened to it, I can just like sing to it. I can like get down with the funkadelic
Okay.
vibes he has with this album. So yeah, Redbone is definitely up there.
Oh, dude, Redbone slide.
Like
California or whatever.
California, yeah. So yeah, that's my pick.
Okay.
It's different, it's out there, but I'm sorry guys, that's it.
No, dude, that's
I'm going to let Mitch say the album that he has on there because that's probably my favorite album of the year.
Yep.
But
that was a close second.
But I'm just going to go switch it up a bit, so I'll let Mitch have his heyday. Coloring Book was there, Chance.
Yep.
That was beautiful.
Mhm.
The Life of Pablo was a beautiful album by Kanye again. Blonde, Frank Ocean came out. Blonde. That was his second album. Blonde was his second album, and
Well-
it took him 5 fucking years because everybody hated him,
Yeah.
dude. Like, that's
well, you had
insane.
like Acura and Ted Girl and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that before then.
But my favorite album in 2016, I think, on here has got to be Malibu by Anderson .Paak, dude.
Mm.
Anderson .Paak is just a crazy musician. He raps, he sings,
He
drums.
drums.
He's literally everything for and
He's
Dr.
really
Dre
good.
loves him. Anderson .Paak is just a mad talent. How to be one. Silicon Valley is probably one of my favorite songs as well. He just absolutely belts on that song and it's insane. Malibu by
Right.
Anderson .Paak.
No, but out of the the two albums, the one I actually listened to and the one that came later, the one I listened to that year was John Bellion's The Human Condition.
Mm.
Holy shit.
Mm.
That album.
I got to agree with you on that.
Soul, funk, R&B,
Yeah.
rap.
Yeah.
It's one of those albums that it's just this absolute cluster of all these different themes and styles and rhythms, but at the same time it feels like one. And after listening to it a gazillion times, after watching some of his interviews and him coming out and saying, I've always wanted to produce like a Disney soundtrack. I've never really been into Disney movies. That's never been my thing. But after hearing that and going back and listening to the album, it is right there in your face. You listen to it and you're like, yes, this is something that I could imagine being in a Disney
It
movie.
was
There was the
beautiful,
themes
dude.
and the everything about it. I'm just like, this is wild. This is crazy. I've never heard of this guy before. Nolan, I think you're
It's my favorite album of 2016. Definitely my favorite.
yeah,
album.
you're the one that got me into John
Really?
Bellion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
from what I remember, it was either you or
Hell
Bryce. I remember you guys talking about like, you gotta
Yep.
listen to John
Yep.
Bellion. I'm like,
Yep.
okay. And I've seen John Bellion before
Yep.
because we saw that we saw him with 21 Pilots during
Yep.
the
In
Blurry
Omaha.
Face tour.
Yep.
Or the Emotional Roadshow tour.
Emotional, yeah.
We didn't see him during the Blurry Face. The other album I had was Endless Summer by The Midnight. I didn't get into that until 2 years ago, I think, 2018.
Okay.
And that's what really introduced me into the whole. Some people call it a meme. So I view it as a legitimate genre, like vaporwave and outrun type stuff of this like 80-esque electronic rock, sometimes hip hop, but mainly like rock and electronic fusion music. And it's the best way to describe it is like 80s themed driving music. Is probably the best way to, and it's beautiful. The production, it's the production when it comes down to on that album. It's awesome. So much fun. Tons of fun to listen to. I don't think I've actually said it. Endless Summer by The Midnight.
Okay. Yeah, hell yeah. I got to add one thing to the Human Condition.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. The
Yes.
production's absolutely beautiful. Every song's absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. But
Gorgeous.
the one thing that I did want to mention about it is that the very last track is insane. Hands of God, it's an outro. It's like an 8-minute outro, but it has every single song on the album on that song, bits and pieces of it, and he flows in between all
It's
of
so
them.
cool.
Just
It is so cool.
perfectly.
And
Yeah,
it goes
dude.
into like a choir.
Yeah,
Which
Oh.
is beautiful.
Oh my god!
It goes to him, then to a fucking choir.
And he's mad. If you
Ugh.
ever seen like any of the behind the scenes John Bellion videos on like
Still
the
need to.
making
So cool.
of songs,
Still need to.
oh my god, it's insane. The man is just a stupid genius, bro.
Yeah. I highly recommend. His next album that came out, I think it was 2018.
still good.
It was pretty good, but The Human
Yeah,
Condition.
is-
where he
Holy
got it,
shit.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Rolling right into 2017.
2017.
Do you guys care if I start this out?
Oh,
Go
don't
for
mind.
it.
Go
at
ahead.
all.
Because I don't think I can pick a favorite, but I have 3. Because this was
Wow.
the year of the internship that I was traveling all summer, driving all over the place, and I had a playlist of 3 albums, and it's all I listened to all summer long, and I think they're my favorite albums. But if I had to choose, I'll just say all 3. Stoney by
Yep.
Post Malone,
Oh,
his
shit.
debut album,
Yep.
was 2017, and then Control by SZA.
Mhm.
And then the third album is American Teen by Khalid, and I have no
Oh.
shame to admit that at all.
American
All
Teen's good.
3 of those albums, front to back, I'll listen to every single day of my life and not care at all, and sing every single word to every single one of them, pretty much. But if I had to pick a favorite out of those 3, it had to be Control by SZA, because I've already explained how much of a bad bitch she is.
Yep.
But
Oh, cough.
He's got the Chinese virus.
that
Coronavirus.
album,
Yeah, it's-
that
Where's the
album,
Coronas?
she's the only female on TDE, which is Kendrick Lamar. You know, everybody.
Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q. I mean, who else is on there? Good lord.
People.
TDE, J Rock's on there. All of those people are on there. Whatever. But it's like what I said earlier. It's like a hip hop rap album produced with just outstanding fucking vocals. And I don't know, it's really cool. The whole idea is like Control is what it's CTRL, which is like the control on the computer,
Control,
which I
Alt,
like
Delete.
that. The album cover is really cool, but I like it because it's like it's her ideas of like a 20-something, 20-year-old females like struggling through love and like being cheated on and beat and all of this different shit. It's beautiful. It's so good. That's definitely got to be my favorite album for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. I've been meaning to listen to that one.
You haven't?
I have.
Oh, you're gonna fall in love.
All right. She's a beautiful woman.
And she's beautiful, yeah.
These guys.
Okay, so I think me and I'm sensing some wavelengths here, and I think Dal and I have the same one.
So maybe Mitch should go.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I'll hop in here. So I had 2017, right? The Piece of the Panic by Neck Deep and One More Light by Linkin Park. The Peace and the Panic, just because it was I still think their better album is Life's Not Out to Get You, but that album was also from 2015, and they already had enough on that year, so I put this album. It's really good. It's a very politically charged album, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's overdone. Just a very fun pop punk album to listen to. And then One More Light by Linkin Park, because not only was it a huge departure from their original sound and just in general for the band, it was the last album that they have released since Chester Bennington's passing. And listening to the album is very tough sometimes, because you can definitely hear the struggles that Chester was going through and dealing with a lot of, the inner demons. So both those albums stand out to me. So
Shout out.
yeah.
Wowzers.
Beautiful. Comedic relief right there.
Free
ladies and
There we go,
sponsors. Yeah,
baby.
sorry, we had to break up the emotion.
Yes, Chris.
With
I'll
me and
let you go
Dallin.
first. I'll let
Me
you go
and
first.
Dallin. I'm feeling it. Wavelengths in the
Dallin and
air.
I.
Dallin. Sorry, Grimmer Nazi.
Dalen.
Dalen and I.
Dalen and I, yep.
Politically
correct.
Scumfuck Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. 2017 top pick.
Was that the full? It wasn't just called Flower Boy. It's definitely
See,
called
so
Flower Boy.
on-
Fuck Flower Boy. Yep.
On the album that I have, physical CD, it says Scumfuck
Okay,
Flower Boy.
okay.
But when you look on Spotify, it's just Flower Boy.
That's soft. Spotify.
Soft.
Weak. Spotify.
We're taking our podcast.
No,
off
we're
Spotify.
not. We're not doing that. But
We're
Spotify.
in the views. But yeah, and so
Make a statement.
Scum fuck.
You hear this,
Flower
Mom?
Boy.
I'm not the only one saying fuck.
Spotify.
Sorry, Mr.
Spotify.
This is good.
Spotify. We've talked about this. Spotify.
But yeah, this So I never really listened to much Tyler the Creator,
Okay.
but this album made me really get more into him, and it was a unique style, and then it also you can see how it inspired his 2019 Igor.
Okay.
And so I just fell in love with this, and me and Dallin have vibed with this album for a while, and I feel like me and Dallin are probably gonna get some tattoos representing this album.
Wow,
or for
some-
sure Dallin will get a
damn.
tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah, I do want to get something to represent this album.
Wow.
But yeah,
Heavy shit.
close second, Swim Team by Dirty Heads.
Okay.
Close second.
Okay. You got anything to add for that?
Yeah, if I
figured
may,
you would.
if I may
Come
get
on,
into my
bud.
2017,
You
most
may.
definitely Scumfuck Flower Boy. Just like, I mean, just the messages, and the content that Tyler talks about in that album is amazing. I don't know. Have any of you guys listened to Scumfuck Flower Boy?
no.
I have.
I have not.
I just find it like incredibly relatable
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
beautiful and hype. I don't know. He
Hype.
fucking Tyler can make bangers at when he wants to.
Yeah, I feel like he's just got a weird flow sometimes. I don't know.
The only other albums I like to mention would be 3 albums by one band.
Wow. They released 3
Yes.
albums in one
Yep.
year.
You
Yep.
could say they saturated the market.
Saturated the
Okay.
market.
Brockhampton's
Mhm.
Oh,
Saturation
Mission.
Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
question on that before you get into
Yes.
it. Are they still a thing? Because
Yes.
Okay. Because didn't they
They
one of
lost
their-
one member.
Oh, okay.
Amir Vaughn.
And they just like recouped and fixed it.
Yeah, I mean they I don't know. There was like sexual allegations going
Yep.
around with one member, and they
Yep.
dropped him.
Yep.
Then they released
Because they
after that-
canceled the tour.
Well, yeah, they had they had the 3 albums, Saturation 1 through 3, and then they dropped a member, and then they had Iridescence,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had, which released last year, would be Ginger.
Yes.
What's their backstory? Because aren't they just like all
So
internet
they-
people, right?
Yes, they all met on a Kanye West fan forum,
That's insane.
Damn.
and they just met on there and randomly decided all.
And they like lived together.
Yeah,
right?
they all moved to California and started a band.
That's insane.
That's
And
crazy,
they
dude.
signed with RCA, each one of them earning $1 million.
They're wild. They're
That's a
all
shit
over
ton
the
of money,
place,
dude.
dude.
I love
How many members are
Brockhampton,
there
man.
all together?
I mean, yeah, they all live together, but
No,
like,
how many members are there all together?
13.
I was gonna say
13?
It's a
Holy
shit ton.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought
It's
it
a
was
good
like
amount.
5 or 6.
They,
No.
I mean, they have like 4 or 5 different like MCs, like people on there, but they have like 2 or 3 people on production. They have people on like the PR
okay.
side.
Yeah.
And, they have like, you know, it's a whole team. They all
They're
stick
dope.
together.
Yeah.
They like they really mix like pop and rap together very well.
Mm-hmm.
I love Brockhampton.
Mm-hmm.
The only other album I'd love to give a shout out to would be Pink Guys.
Yes.
Pink Season.
Pink Season, baby.
If you feel like being triggered, go give that a
Yes.
listen.
Okay, here we go.
I love you, Donald Trump.
Gays for Donald.
Gays for Donald.
I don't want to get into
Fried
it.
noodles. One of his songs is my ringtone.
This guy,
that
known
album.
as Pink Guy, later
Joji.
came on to be known as Joji,
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
aka Filthy Frank on YouTube. R.I.P.
Listen here,
R.I.P.
kids. Welcome to the
Uh,
rice fields.
Yeah.
Pink Guy, Pink Season. Hell
Yes. Hell yeah. I too recommend you to give that a listen if you want to get
Joji,
triggered.
for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Listen to Joji too.
The last year.
The final.
If you've made
year.
it this far listening to the podcast,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank
because
you.
this is now like an hour and 45
Probably
minutes.
our
love it.
longest
I love
episode.
It
Yeah.
is. It's got to be, and I love it.
A lot of content.
2018, boys. I mean, I guess. Do you guys care if I start again?
Go for it. I
Fuck
don't
you.
care.
Go ahead.
So, so there's a couple albums that I had in mind. 2018, I got it. I mean, shout out Mac Swimming.
Yes.
I mean, the last living album of Mac, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
was.
Every single Mac album, he just kept transcending to get better and better and learning new music, like new styles, and getting away from the frat boy rap and finding himself. Beautiful album of Swimming. I have to also give a big shout out to the movement that Kanye West did in Wyoming with all of those albums that got released with his own album. What was that one called? Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid See Ghost, Tiana Taylor's album was on there. Pusha T's album, he did all
Daytona.
of those. Daytona, all of those were really good albums. Like that movement was just insane. He did those every single Friday for the month of June or July, I think, something like that. Beautiful. But I think the one album that took the world by storm and really turned me on to this artist, and I was Astroworld by Travis Scott. I think that's probably got to be one of my favorite albums from that year, just because I mean, it took the world by storm. It literally, like, it was beautifully produced. Everybody was obsessed with the one with Drake on it. What was that one called?
Half a Zan on a flight.
Yeah, that song. But I
Yeah,
mean,
Like a Light.
Travis's verse was way better than Drake's verse on that.
Oh,
anyways.
you betcha.
But it was beautiful. It was a really good album, just perfectly produced. Every song had a lot of really good features. The Weeknd was on there like 3 times. Yeah, it was a good album, but it turned me on to his older albums too. Rodeo came out in 2015, and that's a beautiful album too. I don't know, yeah, Astroworld. I gotta say, shout out
For
to
sure.
Travis,
Shout
bro.
out. Good stuff.
For sure. I'll hop in here, yeah.
Go for
Hell,
it.
go.
I was down in New Zealand for half of this year, and
shit,
Mac
yeah.
Miller
Crikey.
Swimming and Travis Scott's Astroworld were definitely heavy influencers while we were down there, because those were all released while I was in New Zealand. But I have to go with the other 2 albums I have listed that were also released while I was in New Zealand, which was Trench by 21 Pilots and Kamikaze by Eminem.
Woo.
Trench was I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit
A
for
lot
this.
of hate.
Trench is 21 Pilots' best album. 100%, hands down, best album. And just by the storytelling and theme of it. It really is. Yes. I know I'm getting the head shakes. Vessel's the
Not
best. It's
bad.
a vessel. It's a vessel. Because of just front to back, the album is phenomenal. I think it's the most cohesive of the 3 ones with Josh in it. I think that Tyler has really come to true form of how to put his feelings into these songs without it feeling like it's going all over the place. Don't get me wrong. Blurry Face is probably my favorite of the 3, but Trench is the best.
He's vocally. I mean, I've seen him twice. I've seen 21 Pilots twice, and
Falsetto,
Tyler's
the album.
vocals is insane, dude. That kid can just belt, boy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so good.
He's raw.
Yeah. And then Kamikaze by Eminem, surprise album, and he just shits on everyone. That's all you
Yep.
really need to know. It's
Yep.
awesome. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It is like
It is.
the original Marshall Mathers LP where he's like, I don't, give a shit what anyone says. I'm gonna call everyone out, and that's how this is gonna
And he
go.
does. And he
it's
does.
great. So those are my 2 albums for that year.
Oh boy, 2018. What a fucking year for music, for vibes. So, I could choose Kids See Ghost. I could choose Scorpion by Drake. I could choose Mac Miller's Swimming. Maybe KOD by J.
Oh,
Cole.
that's another good album.
What else was there? There's some other one that's blanking right now. Vince Staples. There's so many out there. Daytona by Pusha T? No. I'm gonna have to go with the oddball and go Shaky Graves, Can't Wake Up.
Never heard of it.
I would recommend you give this album a listen. It's kind of folky rock.
Okay.
Folky rock.
I would not think this album would have ever came on the radar, but I fell in love with this album.
That's
I
dope.
even bought a vinyl from a friend and be like, "Here, dude, you have to
Oh,
listen
damn,
to this
okay.
album."
Wow.
I'm sorry, it's just something I enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know. Listen to it if you can.
Okay.
Shit on me if you want. But also, Trench was a very, very close album of the year too.
There you go.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, Dallin, wrap us up.
I'm gonna wrap it up. Gotta wrap it up.
Rap.
Twice.
Twice.
2018. I want to give some shout outs. One, Earl Sweatshirt.
Yep.
Yep.
Some rap songs.
Yep.
That whole album is very MF Doom inspired. I don't know if you ever heard him. Have you all listened to MF Doom?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Nope.
Anyways,
Super cool.
2, Saba, Care For Me.
Yep.
Oh, such a good album.
Hell yeah. And number 3, my favorite album of the year, also by probably my favorite artist, Denzel Curry, Taboo.
Taboo.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
bro.
That whole album is amazing.
Yes.
Front to back.
Care For Me, did that have like calligraphy and log
Yes.
out and all? Oh my god, that album is beautiful. I love that album.
Yep. But my favorite, Taboo, Denzel Curry. I'm looking forward to anything he fucking releases.
You like
He's crazy, dude.
You guys like you like Flatbush Zombies too?
Yes.
You
Flatbush
listen to-
John is pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it
they,
Vacation in Hell? Was that 2018?
That's with Joey Badass. That's 2019.
That's a
I'm almost
single.
positive.
That's a single off that album. That's not the album name.
Well, but you know what I'm talking about,
Uh,
New York or whatever. It's something in New York, whatever.
Flatbush Zombie's pretty good. But
Flatbush,
yeah,
no,
you
Flatbush
gotta-
Zombies and Joey Badass did a whole album together.
Yeah, I thought they had a project.
Something in New York. I'm almost positive.
Something in New York. I know there's Vacation in Hell. That was the
he-
second.
No, I know what you're talking about, Nolan. I swore I remember reading on Reddit or something. Everyone was super hyped about it.
Escape from New York.
Yep.
Yeah, I know
Yep.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Beast Coast.
Yeah, Beast Coast. Yep.
Beast Coast.
Anyways, Denzel Curry's
That was close to 20.
Taboo. Yeah,
Taboo. Have you
Taboo.
heard it?
I know. I know Denzel Curry, but
It's amazing.
I am the one.
Alright.
Ultimate, of course, Ultimate.
Yes.
Yeah, the meme song.
yep.
Yeah.
The meme song. Ultimate meme factor
Yeah.
here.
But Taboo's amazing.
Mm.
Definitely give it a listen to. His whole like take on it was like there's 3 sections to the album. There's light, gray, and dark. So like the
Oh.
first album, the first like third of the album is very like jazzy. Second, get a little bit more harder, and the third is like really hard.
Really hard.
But
That's cool.
you know, my favorite artist of 2019, JPEG Mafia, appears
There
as a
we go.
feature on there.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, I mean, I fucking love Denzel Curry. That's it.
Yeah. What a decade, honestly.
Yeah, what
like
a
that's
decade.
Fucking.
and there's so
decade.
many albums that I should have just gone through my Spotify rather than just Google search. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm sure we missed a lot.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think this is.
I'm right there with you.
I think in overall, just kind of, I think rap and hip hop have just slowly just started taking over everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it for sure became one of like my top genres, and
For
like I
sure.
started off as like kind of rock and pop, and now here I am with hip hop and rap.
They start off with gospel.
I did, yes, technically yes, gospel,
That's why
like
I
some
find
Lecrae
Lecrae. That's
and
why
like fucking.
Which is still good. Lecrae, I mean, Lecrae's got mad skill, bro.
Fucking Christian.
That's what I find so weird. As I was the other way growing up, I always remember listening to like 50 Cent and Eminem and shit.
Yep.
Like as you know, as I don't want
Into
to say
club,
a little kid,
into club.
but like
oh,
that's,
dude, definitely a little kid. My dad was listening to Into Club all
and
the
like
time,
and like
bro.
Lil Wayne. And when I got to college and I started like
That's
playing the
funny.
guitar, I started listening to a whole bunch of like pop punk, and like that's what
That's
I
funny.
listen to for the
That's
most part
funny.
now. So I was like on the flip side of that. Where don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I love hip hop, I love rap. Like my 2019 album of the year was Post Malone's
For
Hollywood's
sure.
Bleeding.
For
But
sure.
Oh, and another thing I want to say real quick.
Go for
I
it.
feel like Post Malone, so he has his own kind of like genre.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say he makes hits. I think he makes like anthems almost.
It's
That's
like-
my own personal.
It's like the new generation anthem rock, like what Kiss was and stuff
Yeah.
like that, where it's like people go to these arenas and these places to like
Yeah.
jam the fuck out. It's like Travis Scott does the same
yeah,
sort of
same,
thing. It's
yeah, okay.
crazy
yep.
shit. Like let's go wild, do it. Like
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah, that's
I
just like
that
something
take.
that just
anthems,
Hot
popped in the
take.
head. Yeah.
movie soundtracks,
Movie soundtracks.
soundtracks to your life.
Okay, so I guess if we can wrap it up here quick, everybody choose album of the decade.
Oh
boy,
my
here we
I already
God.
got 2014 Four Seal Drives. Everybody knows that.
Yep, you betcha.
Album ever.
Oh my God.
Best album ever.
Mine would be either Scumfuck Flower Boy or Taboo.
Okay.
But fuck. Can I add one more thing?
Go
Can I
for
add
it.
one more thing? One more. I gotta add a question at the end.
Okay.
All right.
But
Okay. Chris, go.
I've got one spot. Blurry Face by 21 Pilots.
okay.
Hands down, like, encapsulates the whole entire decade for me. Not just rock and pop punk, but also hip hop and, you know, that sort of genre.
Okay.
It's a collection of all of that. And
It is.
college took up most of this decade for me, and that 21 Pilots, specifically this album, got me through a lot of it.
There
so.
we go. Shout
21
out.
Pilots,
Shout
Blurry
out.
Face.
Cool. I like it, Chris.
Can I plead the fifth?
I plead the faith.
I plead the. God damn it. So out of all the
we
ones,
ought to do it.
I know. You boys are brave. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say with all the ones I've picked, I'm about to go with Run the Jewels too.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Very
I like it.
Run the
political.
Jewels 3.
That's up there, Dallin. But
The original
This
Run the
is
Jewels.
his favorite,
This
not
is
yours,
my-
bro.
this is
We-
No, is it the
This is
original Run the?
Chris's-
Is it the Run the Jewels self-titled album? Because you just said Run the Jewels. You didn't
Run
say
the
an
Jewels
album.
2.
Yeah.
Run the Jewels 2.
Did you say Run the Jewels 2?
He did.
Run the
My
Jewels
bad.
2?
I'm retarded.
Down's deaf like
I was
me.
born
I
with
can't
fetal
hear
alcohol
shit.
syndrome. Forgive me.
I
Oh.
forgive you for your alcoholism. But yes, Run the Jewels 2.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Down.
Kill 'em, Mike.
We have 5 minutes. Quick question.
Should we just leave it with the question? Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
There's a
We're not
lot-
gonna
there's a
answer, but-
lot.
2010s, rise of the use of autotune. What's your take?
Oh, fuck that shit.
T-Pain.
I mean,
I mean, there's
What else do
artists,
you need to know?
it's tasteful. Use it tastefully, but don't overuse it.
but like look at Travis Scott. He's all evolved
Artistic.
around. He's evolved around autotune. He's used it
T-Pain 2.0.
to make his shit. Autotune. I mean, personally, for me, like, I understand it, but at the same times, like, I can get into it sometimes. Other times, I can't.
Just too much.
I mean,
There's
like,
people that there's history of people who've overdone it. Fun, the band Fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
They've overdid
Yeah.
it. I feel like Gambino kind of overdid it in.
Yeah, Awaken My
yep.
Love. Nah, you can't say that.
Because my favorite song on Awaken My Love is God damn
Stay
it,
woke.
Smile. It's not called Smile, but that's what he sings a lot.
Oh,
when
the
he
last
gets
song?
it. Gambino, what's it called? It is called Stand Tall. Yeah, it's
Stand
a lot of
Tall.
songs.
Fucking love
Stand
that
Tall is
song.
a beautiful song, and then it gets ruined by autotune at the end. But whatever.
Yeah, I
It,
feel that.
Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the song
Oh.
with Pusha T.
Yeah.
I cannot think of what is that song called? Same thing where the song's beautiful and he has this awesome like piano outro and then he gets in here and just and I'm just like, what is
the
happening
fuck?
right now, dude? Kanye, dude,
I would-
this is gorgeous and you're
And
ruining
I would
it.
say Kanye West is partially responsible for rise of autotune with 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yeah,
sure.
That
It's
and
kind of like
T-Pain.
one of the first
T-Pain.
albums that
I mean,
really.
T-Pain created it, but yeah.
yeah.
But 808s Heartbreaks one of the first commercially successful albums
Yep.
that really incorporated it.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm very iffy on autotune.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel that.
Rise and fall autotune. Rise and fall of dubstep
I
and
miss you, Dubstep.
Rise
Please
and
come back.
fall of 2010s.
yeah,
bro.
dude.
Oh,
This decade music in review. This one went even longer. Now you see why we broke it up because this episode is now almost 2 hours.
hours.
I love it. I love
Pussies
it.
can't do a 5-hour
I love
long
it.
podcast.
You won't. No balls. You
Bet.
won't.
Totally could.
If
But
you
What-
made it
it-
this
what-
far, you're fucking awesome.
Yeah, we
love
appreciate
you.
Keep listening to us. I mean, we're getting more consistent with everything. It's gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep going because I think we still all love it.
Oh, yeah.
Dallin, thank you
Yes.
so
Yes.
much
A
for
second
joining.
Oh, thank
time.
you
for
for
I mean,
having me
honestly,
on.
come on whenever you want.
Thank
Whenever you
you
wanna
for
come
having me on, y'all.
Yeah, dude,
like
it's been
it's
fun.
100%.
it's a lot of fun.
I mean, this is your boy signing out pretty much. It's your boy Nolan Miller. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us everywhere at the
Instagram.
QLCP. You can look it on the board, but if you're
Hail
it's
QLCP.
at
Hashtag
the
Hail QLC.
QLCP. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, it's your boy. Shine timid as always. Kawhi in the corner.
Cool. Hi.
Chris Sims.
R.I.P.
Go ahead and
pink guy.
sorry we're not streaming this week because we interruption of recording
2 hour long podcast.
2 hour long podcast. But
Love it.
Yeah, go ahead and send us an email. Let us know what your favorite picks are of the decade, of maybe some of the years. We're getting that email together. I was actually gonna do it before this episode, but I got busy with work and
Life.
life. So I will probably maybe tweet it out.
Okay.
Is that how we get people?
Tweet it,
Twatter.
Facebook,
Facebook it.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make it. Just
Okay.
let us know what you think. I'll do stuff later. Yeah.
Cool.
And this is Mitch. We got a big guest on next week. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Big yes.
Oh, nice. Oh shit, it's coming
Oh,
fast.
we signing off. See you later, bitches.
Dallin, you got anything? Thank you so much
yeah,
for coming
dude,
on.
Dallin,
Please
thank
sign
you for
us,
coming on.
Sign us off, Dallin. We appreciate it.
This is the QLCP.
Quarter Life Crisis Podcast.
Thank you for listening. And hint, hint, I am not the guest next week.
Whoa!
Later.
Stay cozy.
Bye, bitches.